What's up? Happy Thursday, everybody. I thought about playing Rust. Then I was like, I went and checked out what they added. That's what took me so long. I started watching trap-based videos. And then I looked up and I was like, oh my gosh, it's already 6 o'clock. So I like hurried up. And then I had to figure out what I wanted to play. And man, there's not much out there right now. There's just like nothing that was like striking my interest. Like there's some new game on Steam. And actually, there's a new one on Xbox that came out today, like a samurai game. And then there's a new one on Steam. It looks so dumb for like $45. I mean, maybe it's cool, but it's like some space game with like graphics from 20 years ago, and like you trade and stuff. It's like $44. Like, it seems to be popular right now. I'm looking it up right now. Yeah, Chaos Gate, Demon Hunters, like the game. I have okay, and its defense, I haven't opened up the actual store page, so I shouldn't talk shit yet. Okay, okay. It's like a trading card game, though. Oh, it's a Warhammer game, it looks like. I don't have the audio up. Oh, it's like a turn-based. All right, this might be cool. $44? Cool, cool. Oh, no. That does not look $44 cool to me. Oh, yeah, it even said it right there, Warhammer. Buy Warhammer 40,000 Chaos Gate Demon Hunters. Hey, Temtem. Similar games to you've played. They're saying this is similar to Temtem. This game was really popular for a minute. I played it after it wasn't popular anymore. Because that's a cool thing to do. Yeah, so I was looking through there. I was oh, that's cool. That's on sale. I've never gotten past the snowy beginning part. I always stop playing. I've tried twice. It's so slow in the beginning. I'm like, can't do it. And I thought about playing Rust, but the update was like the zip lines got more streamlined where they're connected better. And then like, what else was it? Oh, there's above ground railroads now. So I was like, so the only thing really exciting about Rust right now would be it's day 1 of the month, you know? That'd be cool. But then I was like, I'm already like 6 hours late for that. And I didn't realize this, but I guess getting 6K in Battlegrounds is actually pretty good. See, there's just nothing exciting. And I have all the sound off for this game. I've been doing pretty decent. 6,014. I haven't. Yeah, I got up here. I haven't lost. I don't think like horribly bad. Like to where like I lost point. I think I got 2 wins in a row. I was up pretty high. This guy. Oh my god. Yeah. See, first place. First place. So I got my last 5 warbands were 2 first places. So that felt pretty good. Yeah. Oh yeah, it was the poison warlock or poison murlocs that did it for me on both of them. On this one, I remember I added this guy in kind of late. You can kind of see the difference too. Like 83, 37, 58, 47, 102. Actually, that's the only big guy. I did not do so good with him at all. 5th place. I think I was just trying to do too much. I think I should have gone beast and I didn't. I don't always know the synergy between which, groups are best for which ones. I try to think of them. I'm making most of this up as I go. I don't go online and watch videos. That's not totally true. I don't like study hard though, I should say, but I'll check out some stuff every once in a while. It's more like go read a website though than actually um, watch videos. Like, and I do use the one that helps you pick which guys to pick, you know, in the beginning. So typically what I like to do is when I'm playing this stuff, I'll normally find some kind of a good podcast to listen to. And then I'll listen to it. But lately everybody's just recording short stuff. Like this one's 4 minutes long. That doesn't help me right now. You know? Oh, it's the same girl. It's like this main guy. I'm looking at Valuetainment's short clips. Oh, maybe that's why, because it's Valuetainment's short clips. Valuetainment has some valuable entertainment. I don't know. Like, I feel like we have all this knowledge being shared freely. Why would you not try to consume as much as you can? Is Donald Trump the reason Dave Chappelle got attacked? What? That's 4 hours ago that dropped. It's only 9 minutes. Yeah, short clips again. It's like, where's their real ones at? It must be. Is it me? Am I dumb? Value. Attainment. Like, where? Oh, here's their main page. Maybe. I'm not subscribed to their main page. I'm subscribed to their short clips page. Oops. Let's see. Yeah, 3 hours and 28 minutes per. Or is that 3 minutes? That's 3 minutes, isn't it? Screw you. You no longer have those tax benefits. Disney loses special tax. I don't care. The reason Netflix lost 60 billion in one day. It's another little short clip. See, they're all like 8 minutes long. Like here's a 19-minute one. Is Elon Musk about to buy CNN and a major media giant? Patrick Bet David makes a bad prediction. That's a movie actor though. Oops. He So I'm trying to find what to watch while I play Hearthstone right now. Here, I might as well just show you what we're looking for. Oh, you know what? I didn't do something. Shit. Hang on. I'll be right back. Sorry about that. All right. Need my water bottle. Gotta stay hydrated. So I like to find a good long one. You know what? I wonder if David Sinclair's done anything recently. He's the anti-aging guy. I don't want to watch any of his like buy my products shit. I want to see his research ones. The Science of Looking Younger, Longer, Lifespan with David Sinclair, number 6. That was 2 months ago. It's an hour long. Contender. TED Talk with him. Like, this guy is like no joke. He's not like, buy my snake oil. Like, I'm going to make you live longer. He's like a geneticist and like a chemist or some crazy crap. And he's like, I don't know exactly what he is, though. I just watched a few interviews with him on there. Super smart. You'll never eat these foods again. I need to make my stream titles like that. You'll never watch this YouTube channel again. Dun, dun, dun. What to eat? Oh, here's one that's great. Wait. Oh, yeah. Daily motivation. Oh, I wanted to add this to my subscribe. I never see his videos, and I always go looking for him. This is not the same person I thought it was. Never mind.
Welcome to the Lifespan Podcast.
Welcome to the Lifespan Podcast, where we talk about extending your lifespan. Howdy, howdy. Dude, where'd it go? Darn. It's like he was on Joe Rogan, Lex Friedman. Where's the one I'm looking for? Altcoin Daily. He was on Altcoin Daily. Oh no, it's just a crypto thing. I was like, he was on Altcoin Daily? That's weird. Oh, that makes sense. He wasn't. Damn. There's a guy that's he's got a lot of good stuff to say a lot of times. I don't know if I have him in my watch later. This is going to show my secret. I don't even know if you guys can read that. Nobody can probably even read that, can you? Let's just go like this. Boop, boop, boop. Yeah, so I'm trying to learn. I don't even know if you can read it still, but yeah, I'm trying to learn how to play the full Elise. I'm on lesson 2. I got lesson 1 down pretty well. Like 5 things you must do to get big. Rah! How to stretch your hamstrings. These are all my watch laters. Let's see. Oh, I already watched this one. So yeah, watch later. I already watched it. So I remove. I wish it should just remove something. Did we find the UAP consciousness link? Oh yeah, that one. I barely remember that. But I've already watched it. Oh, is this him? Tom Bilu. That's him. Yes.
But if
there
you deal
he
with
is.
the cause-effect relationships,
Subscribe.
they're logical. So, for example, if you have bad financial conditions, as measured by if you're spending.
So now we have to pick, like, what do we want to learn about? Because this dude, he does things on everything. Okay, finally I'm subscribed. I always lose his channel. Like, why wouldn't I just subscribe? I mean, this guy's a famous YouTuber slash businessman. It's like, it's all famous people in their fields. I mean, other than maybe his wife, but I think she is famous too. But there are like top of their class, top of their fields. Yeah, like Sadhguru going on his show. That's probably a good one. That's definitely a contender because I like Sadhguru and I like this guy. So that's awesome. Mindset of a champion. I mean, we're trying to be champions in this, right? How to embrace change and find purpose. I embrace change already. I mean, I'm an IT guy, for Christ's sake. It's like everything changes all the time. Reinvent yourself. Kill your excuses. I kind of did that when I was 17. I moved away from Illinois and came to Arizona. And I don't want to say, I mean, I kind of went down the same path. But I started out just a little different than I was. I kind of took away some of the things I didn't like about myself and reinvented myself a little because it was like new people. So they weren't putting their images of me onto me. It was just all me, you know? If you hate your job, no, fuck that shit. I love my job. All right. Psychologist shows you how to win, how to change the way you think. How long is this one? That's kind of cool too. That's an hour. The power of thought. Power of thought's amazing. Oh, this guy's famous too. He's that, the keto diet guy or whatever. He's the guy he wrote books like plant-based books, like don't eat lima beans or kidney beans or something. Oh, yeah, stop giving a F. Focus on your stuff and stop caring what people think. I mean, if you want to be a top CEO, reset your age. I started watching that one, but he had David Sinclair on right there 3 months ago. And in this one, David Sinclair was already talking about taking mice 50% older and 50% younger than a twin. So they had twin mice. One gets 50% older. And then they take that same mouse and they make it 50% younger. And now they just started doing chimpanzees. He says they're 5 to 10 years out on humans being able to do this. So you're going to go get a procedure done and then you're 50% younger. Can't wait. Oh yeah, Tony Robbins. See, he does all kinds of famous people. The truth about why our boys are struggling and how we can fix it. Did he ever do Jordan Peter? Oh, dude. I like this guy. Wait. Improve your focus. Oh, is he not on there though? Who's on there? Oh no, what? It's not the normal guy doing it? Everything you need to know about DeFi and crypto. Yeah, he's heavy in crypto. I do like this scientist though. He's a physicist or something. An astrophysicist. He was on here again too. Oh yeah, this guy's amazing too. I think he's a brain surgeon or a heart surgeon. Wait, that's David Sinclair again. But the guy on there, that's not David Sinclair. What the heck? What the heck? Oh yeah, look at Don't Get Overworked. That's huge too. John Travolta. Oh, he's not having all these people on here. Maybe he did. He gets famous, crazy famous level people.
Everybody wants a solution, but nobody wants to delve into the…
Honestly, I'm going to start with Sadhguru. I like Sadhguru a lot. It's a nice, calming, good way to start the... All right, so I'm going to listen to Sadhguru because we shouldn't have to watch this. He just likes to ramble and talk. And we'll watch this / listen to this and play some Hearthstone.
the problem and see what is the nature of the problem that we have.
The source of your power.
The source
Everybody
of your
wants
power.
a solution.
Oh, unless he
but
doesn't actually have him on
nobody
here.
wants to delve into the problem and see what is the nature of the problem that we have.
The source of your power in life is your attitude towards the world.
Oh,
And
it's Ed
in
Serts.
human nature, it's your lens, it's your way of looking at the world.
All right, well, whatever.
I've
We'll
reset my expectations. And I have a lot of moments where I'm, for no reason at all, unhappy. But if I have some moments that are not like that, I'm like, party! Like, this is great.
It all starts with who you are, because you'll never rise any higher than what's going on within you.
How to embrace change. Oh, so this isn't the one with Sadhguru.
The problem with humanity is just this,
That's Sadhguru.
that for every other creature, nature has drawn two lines. Within these two lines, they live and die. So their idea of full-fledged is hitting the ceiling of their life. But if a human being hits a ceiling, he gets frustrated and miserable because nature, this process of evolution has delivered to us to a place where there is only the bottom line, there is no top line. Though some human beings are trying to breach the bottom line and go below. Keep working. That effort also is going on. So essentially, what human life is when life was in the other forms of life that you see on the planet, nature determined a certain compulsive, instinctive ways of functioning. Once you
and
become
have
human,
sex. Eat and have sex.
these lines have been removed. You can act consciously. That means what you call as human potential is not of any kind of measurable limit. It can go as far as you desire or as far as you have the courage to walk.
Ads already?
You probably know Vistaprint. for
Literally
business
just started
cards.
watching.
Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that?
Dude, that's so trash.
So when we say human potential, unleashing human potential, it is not about reaching the peak. It is a trajectory. Because what our life is a combination of a certain amount of time and energy. Time is rolling away for all of us at the same pace. If you sit, it rolls away, if you sleep, it rolls
I don't
away,
think
if you
it's the
do
same
something,
pace,
it
but-
goes away, if you don't do anything, it goes away. You're happy or miserable, it goes away. Time is running out for all of us. So it's only the energy
not.
that you can do
Come
different
on, David
things
Sinclair.
with. If you bring your energies to a certain level of intensity and possibility, what somebody does in 10 years, you may do it in 1 year. This means if you live here for 100 years, it feels like in people's impact that you have created, it feels like you lived here for 1,000 years, simply because you have managed your life energies in a certain way. So for me, a human being impactful means, how conscious have you become? This is very important. Because if you're in compulsive cycles, then your energy gets wasted in so many things.
I definitely fall into
If you
those, for
observe
sure.
people in a day, let's take 24 hours, in that anyway most people by prescription in America they sleep for 8 hours. So 8 hours means 1/3 of life is gone.
Yeah,
In
that's
the
pretty
remaining
bad.
2/3 they have to eat, they have to, shower, bathroom, this, that, all this, another 2-3
This,
hours
that, the other
gone.
thing.
So literally 50%
bacon here.
of life is gone, daily basis, just for basic maintenance of this life. 50% of the time is gone in maintenance.
Birds are
The
flying in my
remaining
windows.
50%, what they have, if you look at every single move that they may make with their body, their thought process, their emotions, you will see a whole lot of it is happening in compulsive cycles. Or in other words,
I can see
if
that.
you are little sensitive to life, you will realize you are the biggest issue in your life.
I understand that.
So this is one thing that I'm trying to do with people, that you are never the issue in your life.
Never?
I'm not the issue. My thought, my emotion, my body is never the issue. My thought, my emotion, my energy and my body are my instruments of function. They are not impediments in my life.
Oh, that's true.
But I would say for 90% of the human beings, their own body, then the compulsions of the body, the compulsions of their thought, the compulsions of their emotions are ruling them most of the time. So when you yourself are a problem, well, you're on self-help.
How have you, so rats will die if you breed them to produce no dopamine.
Yeah.
You can put food
It's a
8
different
inches
person
from
now.
their face and they'll starve to death.
Yes.
Which is
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
So how
No
are
dopamine,
you,
wow.
I mean, writing a book is brutally difficult.
Right. So it's not that I want to be a rat without any dopamine, and I couldn't even if I wanted to. But
Okay, I don't like this whole jumping around thing.
You train as if you have nothing.
No, I want to find the ones where he interviews one person about a bunch of stuff. Okay, here's this guy. This is how to embrace change and find purpose with the USA's most decorated Winter Olympics. Apollo. No, he's not a psychiatrist.
I think it's helpful when you look at your
I'm just kidding. Here you go. Psychologist shows how to change the way you think about life. Yeah, that's kind of cool. How long is that? That's an hour. Yeah, that's good.
past self, to actually regularly analyze how your thinking is different from your past self, how your decision making is different from your past self, how what
This
you
is just
care
the
about,
intro.
maybe pre-model, how they differ allows
Back to the show.
Yeah.
Welcome back
Dr.
to the
Benjamin Hardy, welcome back to the show.
Back to the
Happy to be
So,
with you.
Our first time in
Darn it,
person,
it's
very
survived.
excited.
Woo! I suck.
And we've got a new book, Be Your Future Self Now. Talk to me about
Be your future self
your
now.
future
That's
self. There's a sort of
interesting.
interesting twist in the book about, which we actually
Jinx.
talked a tiny bit about in the last episode. But what's the
Pinch.
idea of your future self,
Coke, you owe me
and
a
how do you
Coke.
pull it into the present?
Wait, what?
Yeah, actually, interestingly, like
Oh,
that's,
how do you pull it
that's
in
kind
the
of the
present?
secret to being in the present. So like the Stoics would have like memento mori, which is basically the idea of always thinking about your death so that you can actually like appreciate this moment.
What do you think about that? Does death really make the now better?
No, I'd rather
I
not
don't
think about my
really know.
death
I
because
just
then
know
that
the
makes it
idea of
happen
actually
more.
appreciating that that is a reality.
I
To
make
some
it like
degree,
300
from a
years
Stoic
out.
perspective makes you believe that the present is more valuable. That's just one example of like a future cast allows you to be in the moment more. So Hal Hirschfield, he's a UCLA psychologist. He's been spending a lot of time studying future self, and what his perspective is that the more connected you get to your future self, actually contemplate who your future self is, what they're up to. The more connected you get to the future self, the more able you are to actually appreciate this moment. The more you're able to
Manifestation.
see that what you do here and now matters, but you can also use future self as an example. Me thinking about hanging out with my kids. Like in the future, 20 years from now, my kids are going to all be adults. And so if I actually appreciate that and how my future self would say, dude, Ben, be present, hang out with them. This is going to be over soon. You can kind of use your future self to
I used to do that
be right
automatically.
here,
Weird.
be right now.
Damn, 100%
So
lost
it's
again.
You tell a
counterintuitive.
really cool story in the book about that exact thing.
Yeah.
Walk people through that idea of being your future self now, commenting on how to frame this moment. I think you just had like a really busy day. You come home, kids are in chaos.
Yeah. So there's a Frankl quote that I kind of used to frame this. And I didn't even know about the Frankl quote until I was studying this. But basically what Frankl said is that what
Son
you
of a
should do
bee.
is imagine that you've already lived this moment and that it was over and that you were and that you acted as poorly as you're about to act. Like literally. Like it could be in any situation.
Right.
And then that you could come back and redo it. And now you have more awareness. And so that's one way of looking at it. But basically for me, that example that you're talking about was me just driving home. I come home, 6 kids, house is crazy a lot of times. I'm tired from work.
Screw it.
And frankly, I just zone out. You know, I'm just tired. I'm not the best dude sometimes. And I was just thinking about my own self 20 years into the future, 33. My 53-year-old future self would be,
Oh, I was like,
all
what?
these kids are adults. This moment
He's
in
like
time would be
13?
gone. And so I just thought, I know my future self would look at this situation a lot differently than me. Like, I think from my future self's perspective, everything has more weight than
I'd never
see it
played
right
video
now, 'cause
games
they've got
then.
a much deeper perspective. And so just like I see things radically different from my former self, even a year ago, I don't see things the same way. And so if you can tap into, if my future self could just come back, and this is what I was just thinking while driving home, if my future self could come
yeah.
back, 53-year-old,
You must have seen
all
one of
these
the
kids are
movies or
gone, and just
something.
live in my shoes for an hour or just for the rest of the day, how much differently would they see it? How much differently would they handle this moment right now? And so I was just thinking about that. I'm like, I'm just gonna mess with this. I'm just gonna be my future self for a minute and just imagine that I'm back here in time, kind of like Marty McFly style, and just actually see what it feels like. And I pulled up and my daughter was just hanging out, 3-year-old girl Phoebe, and she just wanted to play. And I think in a lot of cases, I might just pick her up, hug her, go inside and not really think about it. But I was just like, if my future self was actually here and like actually got to relive this moment, like this is really a special moment. And so I just enjoyed it, and
down
it was
from
really interesting.
100% to 90%.
And I do this now more regularly, but this is just one
Yeah, I
episode
gotta
that
oh yeah, I
I'm
never
in my
talked
house
about that.
and
Here, let me
asking
pause
me
this
to
for a
be upset,
second.
But instead, I'm just like,
Yeah, so it ended up being the capacitor. Yep, my uncle was right. My uncle was the one who directed me towards the capacitor. He was like, "Well, just go in there." Because basically, so what happened is my attic unit was working, and my unit outside.
I like where you're going with this.
Sorry, wait 1 second. Oh, that's how I get rich. The oh shit. Yeah, I gotta get past this part. Hold up. Oh wait, she can get some buffs. We're gonna have her for a while, so get rid of him. To give us more. Which we'll play on her. Oh, freeze. And because of that, we could have played him earlier. Oh well. I don't know if you play two of the cards out there when they combine because they were on the board, they make it bigger, or if it could just be in your inventory and then combine and get bigger. Oh, was it too loud? Okay, yeah, I had it up all the way. Thanks. Like, I want people to be able to hear it, but they don't have to, like, it doesn't need to be blasting in their ears, you know? Here, I turned it down to half. You have to, here, let me know really quick, and then I'll go back on with my story. Here, is this better?
none of this stuff even matters. Like, it's just cool that I'm here and that I have this life and I have this situation. And so I think that often we miss this moment because we...
Like when I talk, it's louder, but you can still understand what they're saying really easy.
What a lot of the researchers on meaning say is that this moment only has meaning because of what it means in the future. And so it's kind of interesting. A lot of people don't think that... A lot of people think being present means you block out the past and the future, but this moment only has context if you connect it with what's going to happen in the future. So
I wonder if my game is down too low. Is that better probably for me?
The idea that you go
yeah, that's probably better.
Is that it isn't just contextualizing it to the future, it's taking control of what you paint the future to be like.
Thank you, James. So oh, look, I won that fight.
The present. What is that?
Let me pause this, guys, so I can tell you about my...
Because, like, I imagine, in fact,
Oh, and now it's my turn to do this again, though. Shit, hang on. It never ends, man. It's always something. Whenever friendly taunt. All these ones are all fucking garbage, so maybe, I guess. Oh, okay. I have the game way quiet. Way quiet.
Tactical choice.
A good tactical choice. Oh shit, I ran out of room. Fuck. Oh no, I missed out on a lot of cards right there. Dumb. Each time I give him one, it's like 1 extra health and attack. Darn, this sucks. Well, I guess I can always just sell this guy. Yeah, nothing. Gosh damn it. Garbage, and I should have done this. Oh well. Okay, so I was going and changing my windshield wiper blades on my car and heard my air conditioning was all weird sounding out in the... Yeah, it was the flux capacitor. Yep, my AC time machine. That's the next movie. I went out there and like the compressor on the outside of the house was making a humming noise like it was on, but the fan wasn't spinning. And I was like, well, that's weird. So I turned my air off and then I tried to just like spin the fan. I stuck some stuff between the venting and tried to spin the fan and it spun. So my fan wasn't like seized up. So I called my uncle and I told him what was going on because like the encasing for the fan looks a little rusted, but it wasn't what it was. He's like, pop the cover off. And he's like, just like in a computer, there's a capacitor in there. And if it's popped or swollen, you'll know it's bad. And I opened it up and it was like a dome. So he was like, yeah, that's 90% what it is. I was like, all right, sweet. He's like, that should be all you need. So I, oh no, I'm getting really low here. That was the #1 person though. And I held my own pretty well. I had a 19% chance of winning. It was 50-50 on that one. Oh, look at that. I'm going to get this. And upgrade. Oh shit. Oh man, no. Damn it. Okay, I gotta use up these. Hold up here. The animation on that's so slow. Alright, now this should give me a good gold. Tier 5. Oh, look at that. 4 more cards. Oh, here's one. After a blood gem is played on a friendly minion. It's played on this. Give a friendly minion of each minion type 1/1. I mean, okay. Hey, I'm baking here. We'll sell him next round. I mean, I guess doing it this way, it like spreads the love. I don't know. That's probably kind of dumb. Okay, so fan spun. So I knew the fan wasn't seized. So you had me pop off one of the covers, and yeah, sure enough, the capacitor was swollen. So I went on Amazon. It has a part number right on the sticker. I went on the internet and found, and it just happened to be on Amazon. But I put in the part number and found it, and it's literally just pull the fuse so the thing doesn't come on. Unplug the wires. Take off one bolt, put the thing there, put the bolt back on, plug in the same wires in the same spots, turn it on. It took me 5 to 10 minutes. It was $20 on Amazon. And if my other unit has the same part, but it looks like there's some units can even take a cheaper one that was only $10. And it's weird. Like my fan out there had been making a bunch of weird noises every time it came on. Like it was like it was struggling, you know, like I'm struggling to talk. And then it, oh, did I get, what the hell just happened over there? Did I get those 4 cards because of the guy gave out one of these? Or what? I don't know what I got the 4 cards at the beginning for. I think it was for that one guy, for this guy. Oh, geez, I beat him. 5.6% chance. Oh, and I was lethal because of that. Oh, I beat him. Jeez, that was close, though.
Nice work.
Not rocket scientist, yeah. There is some stuff you need to know, but like there's complicated repairs for sure, but it's more manual labor intensive than it is like it's not a very complex machine, yeah. For sure. But doing like the coolant and stuff is a little more complicated, I would say. Wait, what is this? Oh yeah, loses divine shield. I don't even want this guy. I don't want this guy either. I don't know why I'm filling him up here. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Yes. And yeah, this is the one I want. It's for the next combat only, but it's better than this stupid thing. I need this bad. It might already be too late. I don't know if that's worth a freeze. Yeah, but like you have to use like a compressor to suck, like make a vacuum in the lines and stuff. I mean, it's not hard. I've gone through the system with my uncle, explained it all to me once, but and I took my panels off upstairs in the attic. That's what I had to do. I did that 2 Sundays ago. I fixed the drain finally. Me and John. Well, I fixed it pretty much, but then he came by and tried to help me tear it open more to check it out even more, but we couldn't really get too deep into it. Train builds are kind of different. It's built different. Oh, it's from him is what it was. Oh, look at that. 44% chance winning. First place guy, too. Son of a bitch. What is that? That's not good. I thought I had him. I was excited. Yeah, exactly. Gets condensed and then... So, and, I mean, oh, I beat him. Nice. And the fan, technically, the only thing that fan's doing outside is moving the hot air away from the coils once it's evaporated off from the coolant going through it. All right, is this that douche nozzle? I mean, he ain't bad. And this is good, too. He's worse, though. Take this guy and this guy. And I think I'm going to get rid of this one. Nice. Higher than that one will get you a triple. A triple dipple nipple. Oh, shit. Okay. Wait, no. This one. Oh, it triggers twice. I don't know if that's good with these. Okay, I got to use some of these up. I need to get him out there. Whoops. Oh, I put it on him. No. Oh, I could have used that. All right, I think I like my order. Yeah. I don't know why I have her so far towards the back. It's whatever. I don't like to get a tank up. Yeah, the AC in your car is pretty much the same. Only difference is the type of the different kind of chemical. I guess because it doesn't have to change the temperature as much. You're not out of this yet. 99% chance to win. And so it says he can't beat me, but he can tie me. I'm not lethal against him, though. Nice. Oh, there we go. 4th place. Woot. Not losing points. I'm just glad I stopped being a mechanic before the last Freon was introduced. The old stuff was build of the pound. Oh, geez. Weird. Why does that matter if you're a tech or not, though? Oh, I don't know why I did that. Damn it. Did I already play somebody? No. Ah. Dude, this is so bad. Alright, I'm going to get rid of her, I guess. Oh, nice. Okay. Oh, that means I just play them all on this guy now. Yep. Shit. Oh, I need him out there. Wait. So let me just get rid of this guy. Oh.
Tear this place apart. You tread on sacred ground.
Fingers crossed. Do I like the order they're in? No. Better. There. So we'll get a boost right before I go into the fight too. I almost beat this guy last time. Okay, I'm just gonna, yeah, customers don't like hearing what used to cost like $200 to $300. The new stuff is like, oh, I see. Yeah, but there's not like they can go somewhere else and get it cheaper, right? It's like, it is what it is, man. Look it up on the internet. It's just how it is. Do you want to plan it for your grandkids, or do you want your car to run? I'm just kidding. You know, there's something, I had a thought the other day, and I'm wondering if this whole like society / earth mentality that we have of minimalist and doing the minimal amount of impact is like the wrong idea. Like, because we're doing that, we're going to end up dying, because we're not going to have advanced as fast as we would. Oh, I'm dead. As fast as we would have if we would have just used up everything as fast as possible. Like, if we would have taken advantage of all the resources at our disposal to advance as fast as possible, we would have survived the next ice age. We would have survived the meteor impact. We would have survived going through a poisonous cloud in the galaxy as we spin through it in our solar system, or some crazy shit, you know. But we would have survived that disease. But because we didn't want to hurt the environment, we all died. You know, what's more important, us living or the planet living? But then I guess there's that balancing act, because if you use it all too much or in the wrong way, you kill off everybody then also. So, I mean, obviously there has to be balance, but yes, no. And all things balance, yin, yang. The universe works in symmetry with everything, right? Fractals, everything is symmetry. Anyways, I'm going to hit play on this again. We could talk over it. It's fine.
I know from your own story.
Let me know if it's hard to talk over. I just wanted it like
where the future just
to be
looked like
there.
Shit, and you weren't interested, and you thought this is gonna suck.
Here, I turned it down a little bit more.
So
I have the game really quiet though.
Take control of constructing the future in a way that pulling that into the present is actually useful.
Yeah, I mean, one thing that I think is super important to note is that everyone is being impacted by their view of the future. If you have a pessimistic view of the future, if you have a lack of hope towards your future, like that's dramatically going to impact who you are and how you're being. Like, if you think the future is going to suck, that's obviously going to impact who you are right now. And so,
speaking of that, I forgot to do something.
Or just a lack
oh, hey, Diesel. Me and my brother are talking about renting a boat coming up on one of these
day,
weekends.
Who you are
Maybe next weekend if you want to go with us again. That
That
was fun last time. This time we're going to go magnet fishing though instead.
You've achieved many goals.
All right, should we try the same guy? We got points.
One is bring your future self.
Who else do we got?
And obviously, a lot of it's just thinking about where you want your future self to be, thinking about the
yeah, whenever it's the same stuff. That's okay and all, but with this guy, you have to keep a spot open, and it's kind of a pain in the ass.
Imagining some future case scenario. It could be 3 years, 5 years. You can kind of choose a time frame based on whatever next context you're thinking of. It could be, you know, me in 5 years after my kids, you know, some of them have moved.
You don't know what magnet fishing is?
Different time frames for my future self. But then you can just put yourself in your future self's shoes.
I went with my brother to Canyon Lake. We didn't find anything though. But basically, you take a magnet and you have a big rope attached to it, and you throw it in the lake, and you hope to get something back out of it.
Between now and then. So you can actually, you know, I don't really film videos. I usually just do things by journal. But you know, you can write a letter.
I wonder if by going and doing
and just, like,
all quail bore with this guy is like a dumb thing to do.
And what this does is it builds empathy. It builds the ability to actually see that your future self is a real person.
I don't really build too many hybrid decks, you know.
They see things totally different than you. They care about different things than you, and then they can be talking to you, and that kind of brings them to you.
You said that one mistake people make is that they think their future.
Why is the overlay not showing up? Whoops.
Now, don't tell the why do you think the future self is so different?
Earth deck.
So that idea is actually called the end of history of the
That should be making it show
Daniel
up.
Gilbert, he wrote Stumbling Upon Happiness. He came up with that concept, but basically, this is just kind of a psychological thing that people do. You know, they can see that they're not quite the same person they were 5-10 years ago, but as a whole, we lack imagination towards our future self. It's a lot easier to just remember, you know, who I was 5 years ago, and that I had different goals, different habits, maybe.
Yeah, not for fish, no.
Values. Like, I don't listen.
I mean, no, yeah. How it works is fish nowadays have a lot of mercury in their blood, so you throw the magnet in, and then you can attract the fish to the magnet.
The changes.
Yeah, no. So basically, it's let's go around the lake and get out old fishing lures.
actually my future self is going to be a really different.
He
person.
hopes
They're
to
gonna see
find
things
a
very
trolling
differently.
motor.
But
We're gonna rent a pontoon boat and do it.
They will be. They will be.
It's on him. This is his excursion. I'm just facilitating.
Okay, since you know your future self.
I'm facilitating my brother's excursion
Don't think of that as being
by being
glued
the
down. Really don't think of it as
pass
being
through
based
for his
on
money.
the past. And now
Because he doesn't have a bank account, to
start
rent the
writing
boat
down
and then
whatever.
also to go out with
Is it
him and drive and stuff.
optimized version of
He's mentally
yourself
handicapped,
that
for everybody who doesn't know.
Like,
I'm my brother's guardian.
how they begin to
But he
imagine
lives with my mom. She's also one of his guardians.
and sort of somewhat solidify those elements are going to be pretty important to how they'll act today. And how they act today is the only thing that matters in terms of.
But he does yard work and stuff like that for neighbors and where he lives
think
and
first off,
by my mom or with
you
my
can get
mom.
really stretchy with
Not
it.
with my mom. She
So,
doesn't
like,
help.
I
He
like
does
whatever
he'll just go around and ask
imagination
people for odds and ends, and he's made a lot of friends that
I think
way.
first
That
off
always
is
have him come over to
coming
do
into the
stuff.
grips.
So he
And I
saves
think
it
it's
up, and now
helpful
he's
in
saved
your
up. He wants to
past
rent a
self
boat
actually
to go
regularly
magnet
analyze
fishing.
how
So we're
your
gonna go
thinking is
magnet
different
fishing.
how your decision making is different from your past self.
It'll be
how
fun.
you care about maybe your money habits, maybe how you
Actually,
do anything, how you talk with
yeah.
your wife. Like it's really
You're
good
like,
to
what?
appreciate
Yeah,
how
so
you're evolving
basically we're trying to
regularly
catch
so that
any
you can see
fish
that
that have
actually
lures stuck in
my
them
entire
still
mental model of the world
to
is different.
save
How I make
the
decisions is
fish
different than my past self.
species.
That allows you to
No, I'm just
actually
kidding.
see that
We're
things are
trying
different
to
than
find
how they
him.
used to be.
We're looking
So
for
you can
tagged
then
fish.
start to
The
project forward.
magnet will go to
Yes,
the
my future
tags.
self is going to be really, really different, and you can actually get it
No, way
stretched
more
if you want.
basic.
Like,
Yeah,
how
so we're gonna try to stay in
what are the
shallow
things
waters.
that
I mean, the ropes are like
how
100
do
feet
you
long.
differently?
He wants to find trolling
You know,
motors
what
and
matters,
stuff.
what
Like he's
skills
super
do you
excited to
have
find
that you
trolling
don't
motors,
have now?
and they're like it can get
You
stuck on
really-
something where you have to
that's
pull
where you
super
become
hard,
valuable.
like super
But
duper
what it
hard.
does
Like
for
it's
you, because you
like
can-
if the
you can
magnets
appreciate
stick
they're
to each
very
other, you're
different.
effed. Like
That
you
takes your
cannot be
current
next to
self
each
off
other.
It immediately eliminates a fixed mindset because basically a fixed mindset is the belief that who you are right now is primarily who you're going to be. And so once you realize future self's already going to be very different, even if I don't do much, but they can be radically different. They can be the change in my future self can be way beyond, compounded beyond anything of changes that have happened in the past. Then that allows you enormous flexibility for your current self. Growth mindset is willingness to learn, make mistakes. You're not so caught up in being right. It doesn't matter exactly what happens right now. You're going to change. And so it allows you immediately to be completely flexible.
Oh, you understand what he was talking about? We were kind of talking over it a lot, but that's pretty interesting concept. He's basically saying like, stop thinking so much about yourself right now because you can't change yourself instantly right now. So think about who you're going to be in the future and start accepting that you are going to change no matter what. Stop getting down on yourself for who you are now and just focus on who you're going to be, and then just start living towards that basically, and you'll feel better and then also become that person.
You talked about something in the book that I found I'm obsessed with it right now, and I was very surprised though to find it in the book about future self. So I'm super curious. You go into.
Can you hear
detail
that okay
about
still, like
how
over the
societies
game?
Collapse. You quote Ray Dalio.
Yeah, they're powerful earth magnets. Yeah. They're made for this. You can get them on Amazon. They have like kits and stuff.
It reminds me of sports teams who get to the top. You know, even like the Tampa Bay Buccaneers this year. They weren't that great this year compared to last year. They just won the Super Bowl. And so that's kind of the idea that success often leads to either complacency, lack of vision, conflicting goals among the parties. You know, when things start going really well or moving forward, that's where often either your goals change without you realizing it. Maybe the people on the Bucs, like really a lot of the players, maybe they didn't really need another Super Bowl. Honestly, if they were honest with themselves, maybe their goal changed. But they were.
Yeah, like I don't want to win another Super Bowl. That shit was hard.
And so, from a societal perspective, yeah, there's lots of different.
So they're pretty
beliefs
powerful
about
magnets,
how,
man. Like
you know,
if you stuck it
a
on the side of
business can
something,
really
they
go
remind me a
really
lot of
well
those
and
magnets you
things
would use to
are
get dents out of
killing
cars. They're like
and,
circular. He's got a square
it'd be
one, a
hard for them to
rectangle one
maintain.
though.
And
No,
individual
they're
level,
rectangles.
You can get really
Wait,
successful in some area, and then
are they
you
both
start to
rectangles? No, one's a
throw it away.
circle.
And what do you think that is?
He's also got a grappling
Goals
hook too.
change, not being honest
He's
with
got some
yourself,
crazy
is it you were
shit.
doing it for the wrong
It's pretty
reason?
cool.
You were
We
doing it for
win.
the
People
wrong
are all
reason.
talking to us like, "What are you
it's the-
doing?"
So, like,
Like, "Oh, we're
Jay
magnet
Hendricks
fishing."
is
Like,
like
I felt like we were
the
like all the fishing people, like, because there was regular fishing people there, were gonna be upset with us because we were like basically chucking rocks in the water. You know, like they're big. You know, they're like this. They're like as big as like a little bit smaller than your head. You know, and you're throwing it out there, or just dropping it if you're on a boat. But like we're doing that around
You
other
have
people
this idea,
fishing, and nobody was really that
how
upset.
big
So
they are, how great they are, whatever.
I had never done it before.
Yeah,
I thought
so
people were gonna be like,
homeostasis
"What the
is
fuck?"
How I would see it is just this is your subconscious baseline. It's what you're comfortable with. It's where you're at your emotional development. It's what your comfort zone is. And so if you start advancing way beyond that, like Gay Hendricks would call that like an upper limit problem, where
And advancing how?
you could advance in any way. Maybe you're someone who grew up in a bad situation or just had
Garbage.
repeatedly bad, unhealthy relationships. And all of a sudden you start getting in good relationships. And so it's a little outside your comfort zone to actually be happy in a relationship. And so
I mean, at least
because it's
something, you know what I
outside your
mean? Like we're gonna
homeostasis,
get
it's outside
something
your
from
comfort
that.
zone. Maybe you don't think that this is something you deserve. Maybe it's just that this is uncharted territory. So you're a little uncomfortable with what's going on. It's past.
That was a 1-2, and now it's
your
4. I can make it. This
You
basically goes up by
just move
4.
back.
So
I think that's one.
I
way
think
of
it's actually
looking at it.
stronger to sell those. Oh, there's another one
Another way
back.
is just honestly, you reach a certain place where you become unclear of your goals. I mean, often you achieve goals because you have clarity. You work towards those goals, you achieve them, and you reach a certain place where you lack a future self. You lack.
Been there, done that.
Future, and then
Bunch of
there's all sorts
times.
of things coming at you because you're in a
My
more
divorce,
place, you've got
my
more
child being born.
you know, one of my favorite quotes, which I share multiple times in the book, but it's
My
just
company.
a quote comes from Robert Brault. He says, "We're kept from our goal, not by obstacles, but by a clear path to lesser goals." And so I think, you know, the more successful you become, the more options you have. And so there's a lot of lesser goals that can be quick dopamine hits. You can get quick wins, and you think you're making progress, but you're not actually clear on a direction anymore. And so you just start breaking things apart.
Okay,
I
so
can see that.
getting into that idea, the
Darn it.
clear path to a lesser goal is, I think, really interesting. I've told entrepreneurs like a million times, people don't end up failing because of a lack of opportunity. They end up failing because they pursue the wrong opportunity. How do people orient themselves
Issues that I
in such a
currently
way
can't
that they
solve.
understand
That's good.
what goals to pursue?
I remember when you were working on computers,
Is it
sometimes you would get
just
extra
the
frustrated
ease
sometimes.
of the lesser goal that
Like
makes
if
them
it was
go
just like you
after, or
couldn't
is
figure it out right away, you know what I mean? It's like,
or is it so hard to solve?
what the? And you just get like, I gotta go smoke a cigarette, you know?
Really helped me with this. One is it's called expectancy theory. It's one of the core motivational theories in psychology. The other one's called hope theory. They're essentially very similar. Hope and motivation.
Well,
are
I
very
think I'm gonna
connected.
grab.
But both of those theories basically have 3 similar.
Yeah,
elements.
exactly,
One
same,
is
same.
In order to have motivation and hope, you need a clear goal.
I think I'm gonna grab
You
this
need to
guy
see some
just
form
to
of
slow them
pathway
down
and
hitting
reinforce
anybody
mechanism,
else,
some means. So you
so that
see a goal
this goes off
allows
for
you to get
sure.
exciting. The more clear, the more compelling. Personally, obviously, the more motivating. You need to see some pathway to get in
Yeah,
to be able to create.
that's most women are like that
And then you
actually.
need either the confidence or sense of agency that you can actually.
I should say
fulfill
more
the
women are like that than men,
So
but
it makes sense that
it's a
simple,
more
like,
common
lesser
trait.
goals with clear paths would be motivating. There's a clear path. Often your future self or some big goal doesn't have as obvious of a pathway, and you've got to adjust pathways all the time. And so if you're presented an easy path to a lesser goal, often you take it. Maybe it's a job that pays really well, or it's a relationship that you're already in, and there's some
So what he
bias,
just
but
said,
it's
see,
an
I've avoided that. When I was first setting up my company, the first couple years, even right the year before, my goal was always to kind of have my own company, I would say. And before that, though, I worked for other people, and they kept trying to rope me into stuff like, take this deal with us, and we'll help you build your company. And you know, they wanted major portions of it. And yeah, I might have been farther along faster, though. There's that, but I would have had a lesser goal. I wanted to own my own thing, not be someone else's biatch. You know what I mean? Like, no, it's like I'm the owner, Dick, not you. It was like my old boss. It was my old boss trying to get me to do it with him.
But it'll fight hard.
Where was this guy last time? It's not the strongest, but it'll fight hard.
Down a minion and up a gold.
He's a good one. Because basically every time he attacks, you get one. And he's got Wind Fury. Nani. saying I learned in recovery is let go. Let go like God. What?
You know, so it's easy to.
I just like it's basically the same concept as Bruce Lee's be water. Yeah. Like be fluid, be flexible. Let just
it's just easy
whatever's
to
gonna
get
be
that quick
be.
reward. And that's actually one of the fundamental problems with.
Ooh, 49% win chance. I'm the favorite. Come on.
The present is such a pull that often you know.
Nice. He died before the other guy.
To invest in your future self when you can just get dopamine.
Oh yeah, and I get double because of that girl. Oh, damn! Look at that, full every time. That's gonna be huge. Okay, this is gonna go better than the last
I
time.
think that most paths are not clear initially towards a really cool.
Yeah.
Towards, you know, like as an example, like my own writing.
I agree with that.
There was not a clear path. There's
For
not
sure.
a clear path for you. You know, you kind of invent the path as you go.
But I think that's what breaks most people. Like they legitimately don't know. They don't know how to create momentum, which is already a huge thing. They don't know how to set a goal, which is already wildly problematic.
Yeah.
And then they really don't understand what I call the physics of progress. And so they think, oh, I got it wrong. I guess I'm never going to be able to do this. So what advice do you give people in that moment, knowing that there's a lot of friction that they're going to have to overcome? But if they don't overcome it,
You go away. You
I think
suck all the blown gems out of
last
this
question
guy.
about choosing something,
Oh no!
You have to take the time to
That was the
actually
wrong way.
know what you want to do yourself to, in my mind. Like
I did mean to do it on this side, so this guy would have taken this guy's. Damn it. Well, F that up. Son of a bee. Oh, gain divine shield. I just got rid of the divine shield guy.
Tablet.
Oh, here we go.
Order yours
Pause.
today at remarkable.com.
Jeez.
Interested in selling printed products such as wall art and
Where am I at? Oh, okay, I'm fighting the last place guy. I messed up my lineup a little bit though here.
Then click stores and select the platform you're using. Next,
Select the
go to
platform that you're using.
if you don't get committed to it, you won't be able to.
Yeah,
go
not this
through
weekend, but next
the
weekend.
process of finding
Saturday.
it. And so taking the time, and you don't have
I
to
got to
take
call
it
tomorrow though and see if I can
like,
get a boat though.
like, what do you want to commit to for the next 3 to 5 years?
Oh, I'm
Maybe you
94%
go
chance to be
start really
lethal.
investing and start figuring
I
out
can't
right
lose.
now,
Nice.
you know, where I want to get to in 5 years from now, I have no clue how to get there. But if you start to clarify, like, what
I
are
am
you committed
lethal.
to? What do you actually want to do? We're all committed to something. Like, one of my favorite quotes or ideas is just, you can know what you're committed to by the results you're producing. And so, like, you and I were obviously committed to having this conversation because we're both here. Our behavior is evidence that we've committed to this. And so anything that a person does evidences their commitment to something. So
Damn,
if
that's
they're
so
going to a
shit.
9-to-5 job and they hate it, if they're still going to that 9-to-5 job, they're committed to it. And so I think taking a step back and just asking yourself, like, what is it?
Oh,
that
I
would
just need to
commit
put him on
myself
this
to?
guy.
And
Oh.
it's not like the
This is
rest of my
going
life,
way
but
better
it's
than
like,
last
what's
time.
the most important thing right now? Like, what's the absolute most important thing I could accomplish right now? And maybe you need to journal. Maybe you need to take an extra 30 or 60 minutes to, like, start reading books and giving yourself.
Of course, I
space
messed
away
up a
from
little
the
bit,
noise to start to clarify that. How I like to look at it is with, like, the Jim Collins quote: "If you have more than 3 priorities, you have none." Like, what are the 3 areas of your life that matter?
If you have
most?
more than 3
I
priorities.
think that
Food,
people can
sex,
clarify
and
where they
sleep.
want to go in the next 3 to 5 years if they just
Oh, wait,
give
wait,
themselves
what?
space
Oh.
to be honest, write, journal about it, and then stop worrying about what everyone thinks.
All right, so there's a lot in that one little sentence.
Yeah.
So one, why journaling? How journaling? And then how do people really detach from what other people think?
Yeah, so all 3 such cool concepts, but why journaling? Journaling is the place where you can be honest with yourself. It's the place where you can start to play with your imagination. I think walking too, exercise.
You can play with
but
yourself? Is that
giving
what you
yourself
said?
Space to be alone. There's so many.
Yeah,
inputs
oh, that's.
coming in, and so
There's no way to
space
get one that
actually be by
fast. I don't
yourself.
think.
And is the journaling for you a stream?
I'll ask, but
Usually.
that's
Yeah,
like 2
I mean, I
days
think
from now. They're
I think
probably
all
sold
journalers
out.
should
Last time they were
just
sold out
journal
that
and
weekend. Like
have
I tried on like a
fun.
Wednesday and they were sold out for that
And so,
weekend.
Yeah, I mean, I have just blank pieces of paper.
I'm gonna get too
structure.
many blood
What do
gems
I
now.
want to accomplish
Actually,
in the next 3 years, who I want to be a year from now. But I think
I don't need any
just
actual
actually
creation of
giving
blood
yourself
gems
space
anymore.
to address yourself. Like when I was 19 years
Yeah,
old,
yeah, yeah.
state, I started running, and so when I was running by myself, that was the.
I've been
time
trying to
when
make
I
sure I'm
thought
on
where I could
there.
actually
I normally lurk
express
them. Sometimes I'll hang out.
honesty that
You know me though, I don't really watch a lot of
where do I want to go? Start thinking about my future self. Start thinking about the repercussions of what's going on in my life right now.
Or I do, but like just like normally like educational ones.
It kind of clears you up. It gives you some space to think. The how of journaling, for me, a lot of it's just writing things down, writing down what's going on in my life right now, writing down maybe what I would like to change, writing down the areas of my life that I want to learn more about, the areas I want to accomplish, writing down my goals, thinking about my future self. There's not extreme structure, but it's just giving yourself the space to think about it. So I just think about it, write about it. It clears your thinking.
Damn it.
It gets you clear on where you want to go. It also, obviously, journaling can help you emotionally regulate. You can start to reframe.
Obviously, journaling can help you emotionally regulate.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'll give it obviously. I agree, but how do you get people there? And then we'll definitely still get to the how do you stop caring about what other people think.
Yeah.
But I'm really curious. So, journaling.
It's crazy how adult he is now, huh?
Sorry.
No, please, you're answering.
You have to be able to still remember him really easily from when he was a little kid.
From a research standpoint, like journaling, gratitude journaling, stuff like that, like that's one of the most like clear-cut ways to emotionally regulate.
Because it externalizes things?
It does. I mean, you get if you don't get things out into an external form, like a narrative, a structure, then it's just swirling in your head. It's impacting you subconsciously without you knowing it. But really, everything is about framing, you know?
Oh, shit, I lost on this one.
If it's framed a certain way. Maybe saying the same thing as a different book, but it's the framing that matters. And so everything's about framing. And so how you view a past situation may have been framed by your former self a certain way, but your current self can reframe it and look at it from a different lens, which gives it an entirely different perspective, different meaning, different emotional.
Well, yeah, that's how you change a depressive narrative in your mind. You have to work with somebody to go back and rewrite the scripts that you're playing all the time, revision what your life is like so that you can have a more positive outlook on it and not be depressed.
It's just actually thinking about it.
He's actually talking about basic psychology right now, I think.
In psychology, they call it psychological flexibility, which is just the ability to look at things from different angles, emotionally detach from it, or just
he was tiny
in different ways. And so I find it a very...
He was only like 5 or 6 back then, yeah, when you looped me.
Past scenarios and
he was pretty young.
Different lenses, looking at them from different angles and thinking, why am I better because of that? Or what do I now know that my past self didn't know because of that? Why is that to my benefit? You know, you can just look at it from a bunch of different angles. You read a new book, you got
Darn
new
it.
lens. You can just look at a different experience from a ton of different angles.
I think that is one of the most important ideas in trying to improve yourself. If you don't understand what I call frame of reference, which sounds
100%. I mean, framing is literally everything.
Yeah, framing. That's
literally everything.
What he's talking
people
about.
To understand that. So I just
that's what a psychologist will help you do. They'll help you reframe.
I created this thing called the life map for people, and as I sat there and I'm asking myself, like, what is the most fundamental thing that if people don't understand this, they're never going to be able to make progress?
I really don't need this one.
Frame of reference. And getting people, did you hear David Foster Wallace's "This Is Water"?
No.
Oh
What is
my
it?
God, you
got it. You got to say it.
All right, so it's a whole. It's
Okay.
like 7 minutes long or something.
Okay.
But the idea is that the fish is the last one to realize that it's in water, and so he starts with this joke where an old fish swims by these 2 young fish and says, "Hey boys, how's the water?" And he swims past, and they look at each other and go, "What's water?" And that to me is frame of reference. People don't even realize that they have a frame of reference, let alone that it was a choice, as you said, to choose the lens that you have.
Wait, people don't realize they have a frame of reference? Like, isn't that what people call putting yourself in other people's shoes, like changing your perspective? That's changing your frame of reference, isn't it, pretty much? That's pretty funny what he's talking about. I envision, like, Wi-Fi, and can you imagine, like, aliens coming down and watching, like, man, look at them just swimming through all that nonsense down there that they're living in, like that sludge, or all the Wi-Fi signals and stuff, and the radio signals, and I gotta get top 4 to at least keep my points. Damn it!
Pick yourself back up and turn it around.
I'm trying, buddy. I'm trying. Ah, shit! I'm wasting all kinds of stuff right now. Man, this sucks.
You're down a minion and up a goal.
My shield for Argus.
Cruising for bruising.
I mean, that's some pretty beast level stuff right there. Like 50s and 40s. I'm playing against the worst guy. Come on, baby. Give it to me. But yeah, he was tiny. No, I got divorced when he was 6, so he was 6 to 7. Yeah, you lived with me the first year of my divorce, right? Yeah, it was like the first year. It was like 6 months later, wasn't it? I think so. Or 4 months. It was like 2 or 3 months after my divorce. Damn, I lost him dead. Damn it. I was the only one who died too. That sucks. At least I'm still over 6,000. Deaf to trolls.
And even if they understand that they have a frame of reference and that they choose it, they don't realize how distorted their frame of reference is. And so getting people to understand, okay, everything you think, feel, your dreams, your nightmares, they are all a reflection of your frame of reference.
Yep.
And your frame of reference has been...
I tried to explain that to this girl, Amanda, that I was dating a long time ago. Like, she was getting butthurt about everything all the time. And then she was bitching at me for being negative. And I was like, you understand that, like, you're always upset. You're always butthurt about something. And now you're blaming it on me too. Like, you understand you're the negative one. If everything else around you seems negative, your outlook is negative. You need to change your outlook. Stop taking everything negatively. It's like, ooh, the curator. Oh, yeah. That's a good one. Yeah. I like this one. He's like one of the top guys. I could basically just choose what oh, darn, we didn't get demons.
created over a lifetime.
Demons are good with him.
Often in invisible moments, in moments of trauma, you're making a decision about what is true about the world. But because you mistake it for objective truth, you don't realize that, oh, I actually decided that the world works this way just now, in this moment, right here, based on this trauma. And you just get all these layers of distortion. And because people aren't aware that they're living inside of that frame of reference, like, even just to get to the point where people are like, oh, I see what you're saying. Like, it really takes a lot.
Yeah, I've been there with crypto, trying to explain crypto to people.
It reminds me of two different psychologists. One is obviously Adam Grant more recently with his book Think Again. I think he's spent a lot of time helping you see that your current self just has one frame of reference. Even yourself 5 minutes ago, 10 minutes ago may have had a slightly different nuanced frame of reference, and so he calls it the joy of being wrong. And that again is, I think, one of the appreciations I have about.
So this guy's all minion types. So anything that could do something to another of its kind, this works with it. So that's always cool.
But have you ever heard of Robert Keegan?
From you.
Okay.
He's all from you.
Okay, so yeah, Keegan was.
And this guy's kind of the same thing.
Back in the day, he studied like organizational structures, and he had a different model. It was similar to Covey's like.
Ooh, Murlocs is good with this one actually.
Interdependent model, but it was a lot more psychological.
So I can get them poisonous.
He talked about how he called it, I think, a socializing self that a lot of people go through, high school kids, where their whole actions and behaviors are motivated by pleasing others or fitting in or something like that. Then you reach this authoring stage, which is a lot more competitive, where everything you see is just to further your own aims and your own agendas, but you can't see outside your frame of reference. And so he's, from Keegan's belief and perspective, only 8% of people reach this level that you're talking about, where they can actually, he calls it the transforming self.
I'm in the top 8%.
People,
I'm just
kidding. See
kidding.
that they have a frame, that other people have frames, and that you can consciously step out of your frame and look at.
Oh, I've totally done
the
this.
same
And
situation
you know what?
you're
You want to know the book that taught me how to do this? It's based on the 4 agreements, and it's called Mastery of Awareness, Living the Agreements. And I was probably about 26 6 years old when I read that book. And it started the downfall of my marriage. To the benefit of me and my son. Like basically it was like my frame of reference is jacked. And I started super analyzing the way I was living and who I was and who I was married to. And then I just kind of like gave up hope a little bit, which then made her like freak out. And then she was like, I'm holding you back. And she wanted a divorce. So then it was like, okay. And then it was over. And it actually got me out of that. And it was this kind of thinking that got me out of that. Actually, it was really
Your
crazy.
frame is just one frame. It's one way of seeing things. It's very limited.
It's done other things that are more positive than that for me, but it was negative at the time. It ended up being a great positive.
Then you can try different frames. You can learn different things. You're always seeking to reframe and get new perspective, new.
Yeah, I'm always reframing my point of
reference
reference for
tennis,
sure.
Tennis player who goes into a lesson actually wanting to learn. It's like that beginner's mind where you can learn something from every situation rather than just I know what I'm
Day one
doing.
principles. Go back to day one principles for everything. All the time for everything I'm doing.
And
keep it stupid simple. Start at the beginning.
This is just one frame.
Start with the small things, move your way up. It's all the same
There's
things.
a lot of different angles on this. But I think that's a skill you could practice.
No doubt. How?
I mean, for me, one is just recognizing that my current self sees things different again than my past self 10 minutes ago, and just regularly being open. I think this is again another reason why to journal is just how do I see things. I mean, I can't ever see from your frame. I could ask you though, and I could ask you how you see things, and I could be more curious rather than competitive. Like rather than me trying to prove that my perspective's right, actually ask you what you think about it. Be more of a curious learner and actually have a more flexible frame. For me, I really like referencing back to my past.
I'm so flexible, it's insane.
And just asking myself.
Sometimes I'm so flexible that people don't believe I stand for anything. That's part of my problem. Because they think I just morph into whatever they're talking about, which then makes them think I'm gullible when I'm not.
Realizing,
but
why things turned out
that's
the
their
way they
problem, I
did.
guess.
Not being judgmental towards my former self, not being mad if I get angry at one of my kids. Like rather than being upset about the past, just actually, what was the frame that led me to coming to that conclusion, and how do I see things differently? It allows you to actually squeeze more juice out of things you learn. If I read
turnips?
a book, I can actually analyze how did my frame
Or
of reference
radishes? Can't bleed a dry radish.
or can I see things differently because I now have this information? And I think that this is an active
Isn't that what it is?
an
I don't
aspect
remember.
of learning is if you actually learn something that is a little outside your current frame of reference, are you willing to be honest with that new learning and start to apply it, or are you going to reject it and stick with your current, your former way of learning? So I think learning new frames but then being honest with the new information you get and letting go of old ways is a big aspect of learning.
Did you see the movie The Sixth Sense?
Yeah, but I have not seen it for probably 20 years, like 15 years.
Do you remember the ending, I'm assuming?
Maybe. Tell us.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
okay,
dude, it's
great.
been that long. Dude, it's been that long.
All right, well, this is
Damn, what
fun.
movie
This
did they
is
say?
the perfect example to me of what frame of reference is. So, spoiler alert
Good.
for anybody that hasn't seen it, but the whole movie is you're watching it unfold and everything seems normal and you're not thinking anything of it, but this guy keeps having these weird run-ins with like his wife and it just doesn't go the way you're thinking it will go. And then you're
Wait,
not
what
the whole
movie?
movie. So spoiler alert. This
I have not seen it fasting on current, your former way of learning. So I think learning new frames but then being honest with the new information you get and letting go of old ways is a big aspect of learning.
Did you see the movie The Sixth Sense?
Oh,
Yeah,
The
but
Sixth Sense.
I have
When is
not
this
seen
from?
it for probably 20 years, like 15 years.
Do you
I
remember
haven't seen
the
it in 20,
ending, I'm
15
assuming?
years. Yeah, this is newer video.
Maybe. Tell us.
Oh my God.
Seriously,
okay,
dude, it's
great.
been that long. Dude, it's been that long.
All right, well, this is fun. This is the perfect example to me of what frame of reference is. So, spoiler alert for anybody that hasn't seen it. But
Damn, I'm just
the
now
whole
getting that.
movie
Damn.
is you're watching it unfold and everything seems normal and you're not thinking anything of it, but this guy keeps having these weird run-ins with like his wife and it just doesn't go the way you're thinking it will go. And then you finally get to the end of the film and you realize that the main character that you've been following this whole time is dead.
Yeah, I remember.
And he's a ghost. And then they play back little snippets of the movie so that you realize no one ever actually had an exchange with him. You feel like they kind of do, but when you play it, I have the chills right now. And that's frame of reference, where you suddenly see the exact same moments But when you thought he was alive, you read the interactions one way. When you realized he's a ghost and wasn't actually there, and so they were just having a, you know, a lonely moment where they went to their favorite restaurant on their anniversary to mourn, but because you see it as he's sitting there with them, you read the exchange as this really cold exchange where she's basically ignoring him and sort of dumping him, and that's frame of reference. And it can be that profoundly like jarring where you're like, whoa, there is this entirely other oblique angle with which I can look at my life for good, bad, and different, whatever. But suddenly, like these vistas of possibilities open up before you. For instance, to bring this back to letting go of what other people think, I think so many people construct their life around, okay, what are they gonna think? One, you have to be honest, like you've said multiple times, this is so important. You have to be honest with yourself that you want their approval, seek their approval, or have historically sought their approval, whatever, so that you can now begin to look at the world. What would this look like if I actually didn't care what they thought? And how differently would I move and would I act? I think people
I am not the favorite.
To see the answers if they were journaling.
I'm still over 38 health, though. That is
what
not
their life would look like if they didn't worry
bad.
about their mother's thoughts,
I think I won, though, maybe.
Thoughts, their parents' thoughts, like that their life would look dramatically.
Tie.
Yeah, so many.
Are you playing anything right now, Diesel? Or are you?
Remember that movie? One thing that I love about that is that once you get the new frame, right, it changes everything. In the past, you look back at all the old perspectives now with the new frame, and that's really how memory works. They call memory a reconstruction. And so, like, you never actually see the past as it is, but only as your current self perceives it, right? So there's a really great quote from Brent's life. He wrote a book called Time and Psychological Explanation. You would actually really love it. But basically, he said that it's more accurate to say that the present causes the meaning of the past than the past causes the meaning of the present. Because the present causes the meaning of the past because it's the present frame. And so whenever you pull up a memory, it's from the frame of your current self. And so you get that new information, like at the end of the movie, boom, it changes the meaning of everything that occurred in the past. And so that's
how people get stuck. They don't do that.
Get new information, new perspectives. You actually automatically reframe the whole past from the present. And so any view you have of the past is actually just a reflection of where you're currently at, which is really interesting.
Yeah.
What's up, everybody? Tom Bilyeu here, and I have a question for you. At the start of this year, you likely said
weird. It's unstuck.I.
Most people give up on their
patchtheory.com is the advertisement he's doing.
I have some good news. If you're not on target to succeed at the things that you want to achieve this year, it's not too late. And trust me,
it's his own advertisement.
Goals of act motivation.
That's when you know you're a baller, when you have your own commercials in your YouTube videos.
Workshop, watch it for most and register goals and make this and be legendary.
And this guy's already like a 50 millionaire or something crazy like that. The post.
Now that we're all relaxed, it's time for a live commercial for Outer Furniture.
Ellen's doing a commercial. Oh, here we go. I lived. AFK is normally rated a high-rated player.
And
Tiro.
we tend to accumulate scar tissue psychologically as we get older. And I have found in my own life that it's only through careful management of my framing of the experiences that I'm able to be optimistic and keep moving forward. And when I look at people that just get eaten alive by their frame, which has sort of gotten worse and rusty and scarred and scabbed over as they go, I get it. It takes a lot of management. So how do you, either in your own life or how do you advise people to make sure that your frame of reference is getting better as you go along and that the knocks and bruises and defeats of life don't end up giving you a gnarly outlook?
Yeah, I'd also love your perspective on this because I love the idea of maintenance, or just I actually see it more as just constant improvement. I mean, certainly a continuous journaling practice is helpful for me as far as just continually updating it.
There you go. That's not too bad.
I definitely like simplifying my life continuously. Like
I need to get to number 5. I don't know if you guys can see this.
You know, there's
I don't think I ever got it
I'm
working, did I?
simplifying down what
Never
matters
did. What?
To me right now, what matters.
I don't know why this isn't working.
I cared about, you know, back to the idea of other people's opinions. Like maybe I cared more about what that person thought 4 months ago. But now I do have a new perspective. I do have new goals. And
For some reason, it's not letting me get the deck tracker.
I mean, I don't really know the best answer to your question, except for as you're gaining new information, new knowledge, new experiences, like be true to your evolving self. Like, you know, if you're now clear because of what you know that a certain relationship is actually detrimental to you, even though in the past you thought it was high quality, like, are you going to be honest and true to that new information, or are you going to just pretend it doesn't exist? And so for me,
son of a,
it's not really like
what just happened?
Something that has a single form. Like you're maintaining in a lot of ways where you're growing into. You're maintaining, you know, it's more continuously growing into the best or the newest version of yourself, which means maintenance at that level is going to look different than maintenance, you know, 4 years ago. And so I do think that if you're in a state of constant learning, improving, you get better and better at cleaning up those messes faster, being a lot quicker when you gain information or an insight to go and have that conversation, maybe readdress that relationship or end it or change it. Or if you feel inspired to go and start something, maybe start a new habit or start a new business or whatever.
Yeah, that's what I've always done, start new habits.
Your life towards what you feel most compelled
cool.
to do quicker.
Oh, Lost Ark,
nice.
nice.
Off for a week, a month, a year. So I think it's
Are you
a continuous flow.
Still enjoying it a lot? Yeah. Are you doing like end game stuff, like just like dailies, like constantly the same thing? Or are you? They released some new content recently, didn't they?
I've actually really thought about that question. So.
Yeah. So the way that I think about it is, what's useful. And so, like, dude, bad things happen in life, good things happen in life, and people tend to discount the good and focus on the bad. There's an evolutionary reason for that.
True.
And so, you know, like, it could be your parent dies. It could be.
I'm just sending this over.
Job. It could be.
Sorry, I just
a whole host of things.
Clowning.
And I try to remind myself that I'm gonna choose what I take away from.
All right, come on, don't be out. Come on, baby.
My
I don't know why I'm doing so bad. 100% lost, damn it.
So I think a lot about what do I repeat?
He's got all the Murlocs.
And just by tracking things that I say over and over, or things that I think about over and over, I know, whatever I'm doing right here, I am
just grinding gear levels. I'm like six gear score from the new content. Oh, you have to get all the way up to it. Damn.
Long-term memory, but I'm going to pull it back forward again because I keep thinking about this. And so as I pull it back forward, I want to make sure that I look for the useful way to contextualize this. And I define useful as that which moves me towards my goals. Now, you need to be very careful that your goals are what I'll say should be two-pronged, exciting and honorable. Honorable meaning that it elevates not only yourself but other people to pursue that thing. But if you do that and then you say, okay, what's the right way to think about this failure? And let's make it a catastrophic failure. You're married and your marriage of 25 years dissolves and you're like devastated, totally rocked, and you are just buried under a weight of guilt and, you know, the things I did wrong and
I'm probably dead. Damn it, I just messed up probably.
And or it's them, the asshole, like I can't believe it. And my thing would be, okay, in that moment, if I give up my power and I'm saying it's the other person's fault and not mine, is that going to help me move towards my goals? No, because it takes me out of the driver's seat and just life is happening and there's nothing I can do. Or, hey, I'm really feeling like a lesser version of myself because I have failed at that thing. Does that move me towards my goals? No, because I'm going to need confidence to move towards my goals. Okay, so what would be useful in this situation? Okay, I'm going to take ownership. I'm going to make sure that I look at what I can learn, but I'm going to remind myself that whatever kick in the ass I'm giving myself, it should only be enough to get me moving towards my goals, and it shouldn't be so hard or so continuous.
I'm trying to move more towards my goals, Bob the Tavern, bartender.
And so I think because and a core idea I'm really trying to get across to the world is you're having a biological experience. And so your brain works in a certain way. And your
biological experience,
like negativity bias. And so I know
which could be some other part of us as virtual reality, but we don't know that for sure or not.
But if the negative brain
yeah, I'm dead, damn it.
I'm just going to have a rule that I don't do that. But I also don't want to be delusional. So it's this really interesting friction between what I'm telling myself needs to be both optimistic and true. And whenever I can find those two things,
I'm gonna go grab an apple while this is
does it move me towards my goals?
Hurting my heart.
It won't move me towards my goals because it's it's not real, right? So you're making shit up and it's not going to go anywhere because it's not based in reality. Or it is real, but it makes me feel less confident in taking a step. And so either of those tests will lead me to ultimately what is both true and useful. Because if you failed at marriage, it's very fair to say that I failed at my marriage, right? So it isn't a lie to say, look, I made mistakes and I failed and I may fail again in the future. But it also is true to say, I've learned from these mistakes. I'm willing to look at them nakedly, and because of that, I'm more likely to get it right in the future. So either one of those is grounded in truth. So either one of them will help you move forward, but one of them is more likely to help you move towards your goals.
Yep.
And so that's like the process of hygiene I run through basically every belief.
I love that model. Dan Sullivan, he's a strategic coach, founder guy, but he and I actually wrote a book called The Gap in the Gain. And that model is the easiest model I think I've found for describing what you just described. Like as an example, recently I gave a talk at an event, and it just wasn't, there were a lot of things outside of my control. And so it wasn't going what I would call effectively or optimally. It wasn't optimal.
That sucked,
I realized
but whatever.
This kind of hits a lot of the things that we're talking about in this conversation. There's so many things I can't control.
I really wonder
or
how
even
scripted these conversations
comprehend.
are.
One is your frame of this event, anyone else's frame. And so I just realized, I think it's a big aspect of emotional freedom and emotional maturity is just realizing you're the only person who's comprehending your own experience until you get to define it however you want. And so back to the idea of the gap and the gain, the gap is when you measure.
Define it as a Hearthstone winner.
You thought it should have been. And so you're measuring yourself against an ideal, which is immeasurable, which is always changing. And so if you have a bad event as a child, your parents get divorced and you're in the gap about that, then what you're doing is you're measuring
better than
what
candy
you thought it should have been. And that just creates all sorts of trauma because you're like, you're letting the event happen to you. The event happened to you and you're the reason.
I mean, it tastes like candy.
The past is driving you, essentially. Whereas the gain, which is kind of what you're describing, I think it creates this extreme psychological flexibility where you're saying, what was the gain in that? How can I turn this into a gain?
So good.
Even if it didn't go how I thought it should have, who cares? Like, what can I do with that? And so if you're always creating gains from an experience, doesn't matter what actually occurred. You're not attached emotionally to what happened. Instead, you're just turning it into gains. Then it doesn't really matter what happens in your life. You are gaining from your former self. Your parents got divorced. All right,
that sounds kind of cool. I never played this.
What are all the reasons why you now know things your past self didn't know? What are you going to do differently because of this event? If you're always gaining because of every experience, then you're always further along than your past self. You're always, you always have a better frame. Even if something really bad happens, you can turn that into a gain. And that is essentially what post-traumatic growth is any event that happened, you genuinely look at it as, I'm glad this happened, I'm grateful for it. Gratitude for past events enhances post-traumatic growth. You have new meaning, new perspective that your past self didn't have. And so you can quickly turn any experience into a gain. And so I think that's kind of a model I've found to be the easiest working one.
You said this earlier, and it's so true. Reminds me of a Tony Robbins quote that
inflammation, low-grade inflammation is the underlying factor.
Low-grade inflammation?
90 to...
We do not want the inflammation.
Ask a better question, and that your
I love that
life is
accent.
determined by the questions you ask. So, and I remember one example he gave, and this was so hard, is think of the worst thing that ever happened to you and ask, how is this the best thing that ever happened to me? And your brain will actually come up with an answer, which is pretty crazy.
Think of the worst thing that ever happened to you, and think of what is the best thing that ever happened.
As far as asking better questions,
what?
I like that example because usually once someone reaches a certain frame or once they reach a certain level of maturity, they realize that often it was the worst things that happened to them that were the best. They lost that job or, something bad happened. I mean, even recently, one of my good friends, their child died. And no, seriously.
That would be so hard.
I mean, can you imagine, right? And it's easy as an outsider to say, dude, one day you're going to really be glad this happened. That's so, you can't really say that as an outsider.
One day you'll be glad this happened.
But from an insider, you can use that to say, everything that's happening to me is the best thing that can be happening to me.
Keep up the momentum,
and then you can start to realize, and I think that this is actually a key to happiness, is that everything that happens is the best thing that could have happened. It's kind of a detachment from outcomes to some degree.
He's talking
I believe
about
outcomes really matter. I don't believe that you know, you can fully be detached, but at the same time, whatever happens, you just accept that that was the best thing that could have happened. You learn as much as you can from it.
That's the best that could have happened. So basically, like, if your kid wouldn't have died, you and everybody in your family would have died. Or like, if your kid wouldn't have died, that whole other family would have died. Or, you know, like, there's always something that could have been worse. It could have been worse in some way. So that was the best possible thing that could have happened at that point in time. That's actually a prayer from Christianity. There's a prayer that goes around like one of the Psalms or whatever. Like, they have little booklets they hand out. It was like, they go through it and they're all like, you were, you know, like, you're blaming God because you're late to work because your elevator didn't let you get in. You know, you missed the elevator, and then traffic was bad, and then this, and then that, and then they go through and they show you like God was protecting you because if you would have gotten that elevator, you would have been stuck in there. It was trapped for 4 hours or whatever. Then like, if you would have been out the door on time, then you would have gotten in a car accident, and you would have been the reason that the traffic was held up. You know, like all these little things. That's right though. That's, so look at it as the best thing that could have happened to you. The best possible thing that could have happened in that moment.
Applying better questions to your future self.
Interesting.
I think asking rather than like, you know, I mean, you could just change. You first off ask yourself, what's the questions you're currently asking? I think a really easy way to analyze that is just what are you currently measuring? You know, so like, I may be measuring how many likes are on my social media account. I may be measuring my current bank account, and so starting to analyze what are the questions I'm currently asking, which are leading to the current results I'm getting, and then just changing the question. Maybe it's rather than how can I make, you know, $100,000 this year? How can I make 10 million? Like, you know, it doesn't
10 million?
money. How could I?
I'm just kidding.
How could I have, you know, enormously better experiences with my wife? How could, you know, like, you just start asking questions about the future that you've never asked before, and it starts to give new lenses. And so I think you can.
How can I love Apple so much? Where do I leave my phone?
What are the
Oh
questions
shit.
I'm currently asking, which are leading to whatever I'm currently measuring as success, and how could I change those measurements, or how could I change the questions entirely so that I could start seeing different frames? I think, yeah, different questions are just different frames.
And what do you do in terms of encouraging people to dream big?
I mean, one of the things that I'm thinking about right now, so like I'm writing a book right now, totally separate from this one, called 10x is easier than 2x. And like this is
10x is
really
easier than
model.
2x?
But an aspect of this model is that if you're going to go 2x, it's kind of the 80-20 principle in action. If you go 2x, you can keep 80% of your existing life. And only 20% has to be new. Right? So like, if you go 2x, I can pretty much carry my current self forward 80%. 80% of me is forward. I can pretty much, you know, 2%, 20% will be new. But if you only go 10x, only the top 20% of what you're doing can stay. So 20% of existing, whereas 80% has to be new if you're really gonna go 10x. And so like 80% of what you're currently doing is irrelevant at your future selves, in your future selves life, if you were actually to 10x in certain metrics. So for example, if I wanted to be a 10 times better writer or sell 10 times more books, 80% of my current self is irrelevant at that 10x version. Literally, 80%.
That's a really cool way to say it.
You know what I mean? Only the top 20% of what I'm doing right now is actually scalable.
How do you figure out the 20 from the 80?
This goes back to, you know, we're kept from our goals not by obstacles, but by a clear path to a lesser goal. How much of what I'm currently doing right now is maintaining my former self's goals, or just keeping things in place, going to meetings, doing things that honestly now, from my current reference frame, are not useful to my future self. Like, again, it takes honesty. Maybe something that was an amazing opportunity, you've outgrown it, and it's now a distraction from where you want to go.
That's it. I'm selling my business. I'm doing crypto only. No, I'm just kidding.
One aspect of 80-20 is just what are the few things that I really do that bring me the most excitement right now, or what are the few things that I really that I'm doing right now that if I gave more time and attention to it, it'd be really easy to go to another place. But I'm spending all my time over here. So I do
video
like,
games basically for me.
Like,
dude, finally.
Like thinking, like, you know, as far as imagination is more important than knowledge, like really thinking differently about your future self. Like, how different can they be? in what few areas would you really love to see massive change?
You're good at this.
I really like, again, the Collins frame of no more than 3 priorities. Like, if you just had 3 areas of your life, choose any 3, and then you just stretch those. Like, how different could
That's
they
all you gotta
be?
do. I just
How
stretch
great
them.
could they
You know,
be?
just
The initial
stretch them
reaction,
out.
Seriously, like having done this, a lot of people, they hear these ideas and they never actually genuinely sit and think about it. Like, they hear the idea, yeah, imagine it differently, but actually quantify it. Like, if I actually sat and thought, if my future self 5 years from now was 10 times the more successful writer, or even a better writer, what does that actually look like? And actually quantify, what is my current self? How many books am I currently selling? What if I 10x that? Or just looking at the book.
What do you do though when that's like overwhelming and it's just, yeah, it sounds dope. It sounds dope. Sell 10 times more books. I love it. How do you get there? And how does the person, when they dare to journal that,
I'll just sell
dare
them.
to write it down, how does it not become almost a throwaway joke?
One is to realize that you've already done it. So if you look at your current self, if I look at my current self,
He stressed him out.
it's not a
Or stumped him a little bit. I'm watching him be his body language on his face is all like.
In many different metrics. 5 years ago.
He didn't have a quick answer for that one.
So like, even going back a little bit further, like, there's many areas of my life where, and 10x is just an idea, but like, there's many areas in my life where certainly I'm way beyond what my former self was imagining. And so obviously I've done it before, and I've now created a new homeostasis, and so I've done this before. And I think anyone, listening yourself, you've done things in your life
Yeah, that was so good.
beyond the imagination of your former self at different stages. You've already done it. And so why get to a place when you stop living that way? Because at some point, some past version of you took that idea seriously, and you started dreaming of a bigger goal, and you actually then committed yourself to that and started orienting your life towards that.
Oh, you
and
picked.
So because you've done it before, like, why stop? And so I know I've done it before, and so I know
Can't
that,
stop a good weed.
I know that I'll get there, but also I'm not really competing with anyone. I'm not trying to prove myself to anyone. Like, if I don't get there, there's no failure. Like, why? I don't really see the fear in not getting there.
Outcomes matter.
They do.
So
They do.
It will be a failure. How do they deal with that?
Well, it's only a failure from a certain lens, right? Like, you can turn a failure. I like football, so I'm talking Joe Burrow now. Joe Burrow just went to the Super Bowl. He could call it a failure because he didn't win the Super Bowl. The Bengals just lost to the Rams. He can certainly view it as a failure, right? He didn't achieve his goal. But viewing it as a failure over time stops being useful. It's just like, how can you turn it into a game? How can you learn from it? The event already occurred. You can't change the event. You can change how you frame it, and you can change what you get out of it. You can change what you do because of it. You can't actually go back and change. Joe Burrow can't change that he missed, that he lost. So he can be mad about it and feel like a loser, or he can get mad at his former self. I've reached a place, and this is my own belief, that
55.
Nothing is actually a failure. Like, you created what you created. You can now choose to do something differently. You can choose to learn from it. If I don't hit a goal, I can either be in the game about it or the gap about it. I can change because of it, or I can be mad at myself and turn it into a trauma.
Now, if you missed the goal, would you just reset that same goal and keep getting after it? So that the goal, like, keeps...
Had to get the apple off my face.
Maybe
Oh no! My time. Oh, he beat me by 1 health.
Honestly, you're not competing against anyone. Like, that's the great part. You get to choose your future self. You get to choose what you commit yourself to. So maybe going through that experience, you now can slightly adjust the goal. Maybe you can adjust what you're doing, or you can recommit to that same goal if you want. But you're not really competing with anyone. You're in your own internal experience, and so you get to choose what you commit yourself to. Just by actually attempting the thing, you've probably gained a lot of experience that your former self, who initially set the goal, didn't have. So now you can either keep going for your former self's goal, or you can set something totally different.
Have you encountered people that are unable to be honest with themselves about what went wrong?
You're down a minion and up a goal.
I think it takes all of us a little bit of time and digestion to figure that out. Yeah, I think all of us are that in varying degrees. I don't think anyone is 100% honest with themselves. You know, like it takes time to get increasingly honest with yourself about why something went the way it did. So yeah, I mean, obviously, a lot of people, they'll just be delusional about it and just
They're all delusional.
blame the other person, never actually look in the mirror and realize that they're the ones creating the outcomes of their lives. And I think all of us are doing that in different degrees.
Yeah, I would say so. It's interesting. There's a frame of reference that I think so many people spend their entire lives.
I'm making this quick video because it has been 1 month since joining the Cashflow 101 system, and so what I wanted to do is make this video to show you.
I have a 0.4% chance of being lethal. Wow.
Victimized by their own psychological immune system. And the psychological immune system is an incredible gift, and I'm very grateful that we have it. But when people psychological immune system,
why is this guy still alive?
Say, don't worry, it's not your fault.
I think I'm too strong.
Just like the buffers.
You
just keep
lost
you feeling
the
good.
Super Bowl because your coaches called the wrong play. There was too much noise in the stadium that day. Whatever.
So you're just pushing everything out.
Exactly.
That sucks. Damn it.
Helps. And the happiest people on planet Earth are the most delusional. That's like the result of a real
Ignorance
study.
is bliss.
But I also worry that there's a fragility to that. There's something that feels off, and I'm speaking from experience. Like my entire, up till, I don't know, 25, 26, was me not being completely honest with myself, definitely making things other people's problems because I was very afraid that I had a fixed mindset, so I was very afraid.
Oh, I should have grabbed that Mac.
The things that I wanted to achieve in life, and I was constantly like, "Is this proof that I'm not smart enough? Is this proof that I am smart enough?" And so it really made a big emotional difference when I could side on the side of it really was somebody else's fault, and that was so emotionally useful that. Man, what's the line? Were it not but for the grace of God, there I go. Like when I see somebody trapped by the psychological immune system where they need it to be somebody else's fault because just emotionally it would be too devastating to face it. I spent so much time there, and it was only encountering, the ideas we've been talking about today that finally allowed me to say, okay, this sucks, this is really gonna hurt, but I'm gonna own everything. That was my fault, I did this, I did that, the other, whatever, I'm not good enough yet. But that word "yet" became this magical thing that I could append to anything.
That's a really good card.
I think most people, they're never able to get past that. And I'm curious, like especially as somebody with 6 kids, like how do you?
Oh, that guy has 6 kids that he's talking to.
That willingness to stare nakedly at one's inadequacies.
Damn, I didn't know that.
I think it's awesome. I think that how I see it is you can stay on a track.
Did they not die? What the heck?
Rust, you can just push forward and stay on the track you're on, or you can get off the track. It's kind of like.
Are they waiting for my last guy to die as the bomb one? Great. Oh, he had those though.
Release it. I think about even Tiger Woods, who at some point when he was top of his game, like stepped away for 2 years to redo his swing.
Oh, first.
Sometimes it's very painful in the moment to face.
Stepped away to redo his swing. Does he still not know what really happened with that?
The more initial pain, but also the faster the release, the more you free yourself up from that. It's like either stepping onto a new track with like rocket ship or getting into an airplane, right? So like, I think that facing that and being as honest with yourself as possible in the short term is potent. It's potently painful. To admit to your wife or your kids that you have a problem, or to admit to yourself and to actually just be naked. Like my dad, as an example, he was an extreme drug addict.
Just be naked.
Meth addict, did everything. Like literally in the room right next to me and my friends while we were playing World of Warcraft. Like,
oh wow.
It was gnarly. And one of the things that he said when he went through like a recovery process was just becoming completely like naked psychologically with yourself, but then with everyone else. And I think that from his perspective, that actually makes you.
I have 3 different things that do random things. All right, this guy's kind of useless now, but.
Like if you actually start to admit to yourself, and to others.
This is stupidly bad.
Or even just that you're concerned about something, you're confused about something. The more just you actually voice it, first off, you realize other people are not as emotionally attached to it as you are. you know, even if you've done something that you think is absolutely terrible, and then you go and you talk about it, maybe start with a counselor, start in your journal, but then get faster and talk about it to people who really matter or who may be affected by it. That's when actual
Damn, he's got the stuff I'm trying to get towards. Damn it.
And so you can continue to bury it. You know, there's a
yeah, he's gonna beat me.
You're only as sick as
oh wow, I have a 0.1% chance.
So that's Alcoholics Anonymous. Yeah, so it's like you can maintain this, but you realize that because you're maintaining this, you're on that track with all that friction. You know, like at some point you're burning things out. It's going to age you. It's going to exhaust you. It's creating all this decision fatigue. Face it. Free yourself from it, and then life becomes so much better. Yeah, you may need to learn something, you may need to learn some skills, you know, in a totally different context rather than me trying to like fix some problem. If I want to be honest with myself and become a better writer, right, I might have to do some serious deliberate practice. Deliberate practice is the exact opposite of habits. It's going outside your habits. It's like actually developing new skills. It's facing your weaknesses. It's getting hard feedback. It's learning things new. You know, back to that 10x model, 80% new, 20% existing. If I really want to become a better writer or become better as a father, I've got to learn a lot of things that my current self doesn't know. That's going to be difficult. All real learning is difficult, but you can have a good mindset toward it. And you know, deliberate practice is hard. And so,
son of a bee.
It's the willingness to face the difficulty for the short run, for the investment in your future in the long run. I mean, that's the idea. It's just that if you're willing to make this investment, whether that's having that hard conversation, practicing this skill, every time you do that, you've just freed so much energy out.
I'm dead. Whoops.
They're getting bigger and bigger and bigger, which by nature makes your present better and better and better. So
that only gives him one of those. Yeah, I'm so screwed.
It doesn't get easier at every next level. There's new truths to unfold.
I think it's harder at every level.
Other than journaling, what's the best way to continuously pull that future self into the present to make sure that it's
I messed up pretty bad on this one.
It's getting bigger, that it's getting better, that you're updating it?
Yeah. I mean, vividness is the key of future self, getting really vivid about it. You know, so, you know, journaling about it's great. Committing to it's great. Starting to invest money into it. Starting to invest money in whatever goal you have. You know, like actually, you know, investment financially creates commitment emotionally. You know, that's what sunk cost bias really is. But you can leverage that. You know, so if you start investing a little bit of money here and there, or just actually
don't let that one die. No, dumb.
Get yourself committed, because once you get committed to whatever it is you want, then I mean, that's really what identity is. Identity is the thing you're.
I need to make this like a taunt one. Damn it.
You know, and once you stop being committed to something,
I'm dead though, aren't I?
You know, you stop thinking about the piano.
Oh, it does do double the amount.
Or a relationship. Once it stops being something you're committed to, it's no longer part of your identity, and so you go somewhere else. And so the goal is just to get yourself committed.
Like to a mental institution, or
do you formalize that? Like,
damn it.
Yeah.
I tied for fourth at least. So that might be good.
Layers, and sometimes it.
Yeah, +1.
But certainly, writing about it, thinking about it, deciding about it, telling people about it.
We just gotta win 99 more times, and then we can beat a 7,000.
Plans, uncommitting to other things, lesser goals. Whenever you uncommit to something, you know,
first place will still give me like 80.
Model, you get rid of 80% of your current existing. You don't have to do that all at once, but you can start to let go of some of that.
I got some blood
more
in
and more energy into
oh, jeez.
Scheduling.
Why do you have scabs?
You know?
From like a small one or something, or like
schedules,
at work? Did you get hurt at work or something?
Not their future self. Could be meetings, you know, urgent versus important.
Why are you scabby?
So if you actually like put it on the schedule and like start saying no to cool opportunities that get in the way of that, you know. For me, for most of my writing career, which is really at this point only like 6 or 7 years, writing was never on my schedule. And so like when I was a PhD student, I would just write in the mornings. But even when I got out of my PhD and I was running a business, like I still didn't do it, even though that was the main thing that I saw myself as. And like, until like literally, no, I'm going to own my time. I'm going to own my schedule. These are the times I write. These are my goals. This is what I'm committed to.
I'm guessing this is going to tell me the rat's the best one.
I'm going to start saying no to other stuff, even cool things that I think are interesting or stuff that maybe
oh, no, it's close.
We're going to figure out some other way. You know,
this girl's a little bit better.
To actually say like, I'm going to figure it out right here.
Future self, man. Be your future self now. Where can people follow along with you?
Oh, wow, yeah.
And when does the book come out?
Book comes out in June. futureself.com.
I cheated. I got an early copy.
Of course you
Thank
did.
you, by the way.
Of course he did.
I mean,
it's over basically. Yeah, it's over. That was only an hour, but it took 2 hours. I guess I paused it a lot. But get your brain to focus, maximize your deep work, and get into a flow state. Impact theory. Yeah, I don't listen to that. I'm kind of disappointed. I thought Sadhguru was going to be on. Let's go find something Sadhguru-y. I just want to hear his accent. What you do not know about yourself is that you do not know yourself. Wait, why don't I have... There he is. Is he live? He's live. No, he wasn't. We gotta pick something. Max is what we want to go. So none of these are max, so that sucks. So we'll go with this one. No. I guess this one doesn't help me, I don't think, but whatever. What do you have to say for yourself? Sadhguru's appeal to 195 nations for COP 15. I don't know what that means. A simple way to become meditative. I like simple. It's a short. He does a lot of shorts.
I've got some fresh recruits for you.
He just posted 20. Okay, I'm gonna listen.
So this is where gentleness is. Not because somebody is watching, not because you're under scrutiny, just the way you move, how you step on the planet, how you breathe, how you sit, how you stand, how you look at other people. This is where you have to refine your action. If one becomes meditative, this will naturally come. To consciously refine your action.
Whoop. Oh, no.
So this is where gentleness is.
I think it was already over.
There's one thing that you could tell black people as a race.
Stop using the N-word. Just easy.
Win this thing.
All right, let's see. How to be unaffected by others' opinions about you. Be helpful. It's called be unfuckwithable. Oh, if they don't talk, they're just. Let's see. Hopefully they'll talk.
Is it true that this body here is the greatest chemical factory in the universe right now? The universe that we know.
No plants.
If you know how to manage this, you would be like me, always live down. Anybody can say what they want, anybody can do what they want. This is like this only. Because I have not given this privilege to anybody, that somebody can make me happy, somebody can make me unhappy, somebody can make me miserable. Right now, you are a consequence of other people's opinions. Where do you plan to go like this? Anybody can ruin you. No. It's very important. We listen to everybody because we could be doing something wrong. But what they say will not determine how I am. Never, ever.
Yeah, don't let other people determine. That's an old. That was loud. That's an old trick, like to be unfuckwithable. Like, yes, take other people's opinions seriously because you could be doing something stupid or wrong, and you should at least listen to somebody else, give them that respect. But don't let it change who you are on the inside just because somebody thinks you should be a certain way or they think you're a certain way. Don't let it actually make you that way. Like it. Suffering from lack of self-confidence. I'm okay there. American rapper Big Sean supports. Sadhguru's got a lot of... Sadhguru sings do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. A simple way to develop personal power. Embrace the dark side? Can we control our minds? They have a picture of a joystick on there. So I'm trying to find things to listen to that you don't have to actually watch because obviously it's hard for you guys to watch. Let's see what he has to say about gaining confidence. Who doesn't want more self-confidence? Gotta be careful it doesn't become arrogance.
Because I don't have any confidence about anything.
Because I do not have confidence about anything. I love that.
You will blunder through life. You must extinguish your confidence and bring clarity.
Distinguished clarity. Even like this, actually. Oh, man, I'm so behind. What have I been doing?
You are so reverent and you are so cherished. Do you ever get a superiority complex?
Right now, yes.
A lot of people really… I've seen him fill
The
stadiums.
question is not about superiority complex, inferiority complex, poverty complex or wealthy complex.
It's good to get some minions in play.
That you have a complex is a serious problem, isn't it? Whatever kind it is. What a complex means is, you have assumed something about yourself.
You assume something about yourself, yeah. If you
And
have a
you have
complex.
concretized that assumption. In such a way, you make a bloody fool of yourself wherever you go. Do I look like that? Hello? Do I look like I'm making a bloody fool of myself with you? No. So…
He does sometimes,
No
though.
complex.
He gets so goofy sometimes.
Of any kind.
He goes a little over the top every once in a while. Who doesn't?
But then our confidence fluctuates every day. So what do you have to say about that?
Because I don't have any confidence about anything.
Because everything could be
have
anything,
clarity.
always.
People think I have knowledge. No, my head is empty. That's why to make it look little substantial, I have a turban.
So my head's empty.
It's
There's like
totally empty
hundreds of people
almost.
listening to this right now. Hundreds,
But
if
I
not
have
thousands,
clarity.
live. Like,
Clarity means what? You see things the way they are. Knowledge means what? You have fixed information about everything. If things have changed, you will not see it the way it is. That's as good as being blind. See, people think owls are blind. It's not true. Their vision is far more sensitive than yours. But because of sunlight, they're blinded because it's too much. When light goes down, he sees very clearly. Not because he's blind, because his eyes are super sensitive. So, it's important that you bring clarity to your life, not knowledge, because knowledge is conclusions that you gather. Knowledge is okay when you're trying to do something physical, material in the world, but not with life. Is it true what you thought was absolute at the age of 12, today is not true?
that's the same stuff they were just talking about on the other thing, your perspective.
Are you sure that whatever you think is this is it right now, will be this is it in another 3 years' time?
Of course not.
You know that, so you know you're wrong.
You follow what he's saying right there? Because that was pretty complex. I like it though. So basically, do you believe everything you believe? He's making an extreme and then correlating it to a not so extreme though, which is actually a manipulation tactic. But basically what he's saying is like when you were 12, you know, or not manipulation, persuasion maybe is a better word, but when you were 12, you had things that you were like, this is the absolute truth. And if you still think that now, well, no, of course not, because you've learned and grown. Well, so then basically what he's saying is now if you take that same logic to yourself as what you are today, it's the same truth. You're not 3 years, 4 years from now, you're not going to believe the same shit either. That's why you got to be really careful when you pick tattoos. This is the way I've always thought about tattoos. I learned this concept trying to pick a tattoo, actually. I was like, how to pick the best tattoo? And then they were going over these types of concepts. So, you know, sometimes people with tattoos actually, they've been through some shit. They've thought about things. Okay, deal 3 random damage for every enemy minion to a random enemy minion. Enemy minions for each of the mechs that you that died this combat. Okay. I need to be able to keep this guy alive. I need like a taunt really bad. All right, for right now, I just need to keep gold in my hand. So I'm going to grab that. So I need to get the one where he turns into a bunch of guys, because then like if everything dies and then he dies, he'll turn into those 1/1 robots and then I don't lose still. Because he'll blow up everything. He'll be like blah, 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 blah.
It in another 3 years' time?
Of course not.
You know that, so you know you're wrong.
Because in 3 years, you're going to know you're wrong now.
So you know.
Look at your
anyway
future
you're
self
wrong.
and you'll be
So
better
why
at your present
assert
self.
the
That's
wrong
what the other guy was saying too.
Well,
These are the
right
same
now we're
things.
wrong, at least let's manage with little
Correlations.
Little more conscious. If you know you're wrong, you will walk carefully, isn't it? Hello? But you think you're absolutely correct, then you will do stupid things and you blunder around the world. If you know you're not seeing properly, will you walk carefully or no? If I ask you to walk through a dark room, suppose we turn off all the lights and close it down, everything, pitch dark, if I ask you to walk, suddenly will you become super alert and conscious as to how you walk?
Yeah.
But when the lights are on,
You're just
you're
like,
just
"La, la,
going
la."
unconsciously bumping into everybody. So if you learn to walk every moment, like there are
I can't
no
do it right now.
lights,
Maybe he's screaming in your
looking
guys'
at a thing
ears.
absolutely carefully,
Give you a hermit and
then
shit.
what you see clearly, you go through it. What you don't see
Fa-la-la.
clearly, you hesitate.
Fa-la-la.
Some places you take a little bit of
Fa-la.
chance.
Fa-la-la.
But if you are just confident, you will blunder through life. We don't know where you will get in and what you will get trapped into.
All right, dude, you're just
Most
not
people
working out for us.
Are trapped into their professions, their family situations, their social situations in such a way, they all became like this. Yes, already I'm seeing, not just older people, youth have become like this. What will happen to me at the end of my life? What will happen to me at the end of my life? I'm already revealed the secret, you will die.
He's like, I'll give you the secret, you will die.
But Sadhguru, if this happens, what to do? If that happens, what to do? All those
I'll,
things will happen.
I'll let you know. You're
It's
gonna
not
die.
that everything will happen in your life the way you like it. Things will happen in the way you don't like it. It once happened. Shankaran Pillai got fired from his job simply because he asked a question, smoking or not smoke, non-smoking. How can you get fired for asking such a simple question? Smoking or non-smoking, he asked, and he got fired. Because what he was supposed to ask was cremation or burial.
What was he supposed to ask?
So, many times what you do, thinking I'm right, may be irrelevant to the situation in which you exist. So the most important aspect of your life is you're relevant, not right. You're just relevant. To the
Relevant.
existing situation, you're relevant. I am right, I am right, I am right. This is confidence. You being right, nobody cares. All the idiots who think they're right, nobody wants to listen to them, nobody wants to be around them, isn't it? People who always think, I'm right, you want to be around them? No, the important thing is you're relevant to the situation in which you exist. If you have to bring relevance into your life, you must extinguish your confidence and bring clarity. To develop
We must
clarity,
do it.
there are many systems.
Many.
To develop your muscle, there are systems, isn't it?
True.
Similarly, to develop clarity, there are many systems. Unfortunately, our education system is dulling clarity in so many ways.
Oh, damn.
Some of the research studies in the universities shows that if a child goes to kindergarten and goes through 20 years of education, I'm sorry, I'm saying this is an educational institution, 20 years of education and comes out, let's say, with a PhD, they are saying 70% of their intelligence is irrevocably destroyed. So you have a knowledgeable idiot. What do you do with this? Well, you can…
70% of their knowledge
you
is
can impress
destroyed,
people
what?
by throwing information, but this whole game of impressing people, throwing this information and that information around is all going to go because that Google lady is better than any of these idiots.
Because that Google lady said it's a guy in America normally. I think he means
It's
Alexa
really
or
amazing.
Siri.
I am just traveling to wherever. Let's say I'm flying to United States or Africa or somewhere, I just ask, you know, what is the morning temperature
What? That
in
sucks.
Entebbe? I'm landing there. Without batting an eyelid, in 2 seconds, she tells me it's 14 degrees centigrade and by afternoon it's 18 degrees centigrade, by evening it's again 12 degrees centigrade. Who could ever see this? Hello?
Yeah, he's a
Not be
spiritual
perfectly
like
right,
techie. It's kind of
but we're
awesome.
almost there. So people who are carrying a basket of information on their head and feeling superior,
A basket
I
of
want you to
information on
understand
their
this in this
head.
country and everywhere else in the world. Not the previous, but the previous generation,
Oh, there we go. That's what I
somebody
needed.
who could read a book was seen godlike because everybody else was illiterate.
Because everybody else is illiterate.
And people thrived simply because they can read the Gita or the Bible or something else. They thrived simply because they can read. But once everybody can read, we are ignoring those people completely. Yes, sir? Hello? So,
Hello?
people who are carrying information and feeling superior, they will all be made into nothing in the next 15 to 20 years' time. Once artificial intelligence becomes all over the place, information will mean nothing because it'll be available everywhere.
It already is.
By then, you must be competent to do something beyond information.
Be competent to do something beyond
This is why
information.
I'm with you.
That was it. That was pretty cool, though. So you need to be confident to do something beyond information. Because pretty much, yeah, information will just be handed to anybody who needs it. You don't even need a library. The world's changing pretty damn quick. Yeah, I like him. He's got some cool thoughts. And I think I like him because he's like spiritual, but he's not like, take off your electronics or you'll never be in tune with the world, you know? He's big on not staring at screens all day, don't get me wrong, but ooh, 64% chance of being lethal on this one. Nice. Nice. This is nice. Oh yeah, here we go. Oh, I didn't summon a lot of units, darn it. I need the one that... Nice. Yeah, bye-bye, sucker. And that's a high-rated hero, too. They just got bad. Oh, I got him by 1. Come on, somebody else, too? Somebody else, too? Nice. There's up to 4. Wait. Sweet. Wheat. Wheat. Oh, here it is. That's the one I was wanting. I have no room to put it in, though, to play. Damn it. Damn it. There's no way I'm making a triple right now. Oh, there's another one.
Tactical choice.
That's really good for me with this guy. I need to be able to make one into a... Oh, that's good too. Damn, Gene. Whenever you summon a mech, gain Divine Shield. After something loses Divine Shield, gain Divine Shield. When something with Divine Shield... I almost want to get rid of this. I just have to. Or this. We know for sure he needs one. And I think him getting one's going to be really good. Okay. This
you
is...
probably know Vistaprint for...
Can we control our mind? Divyanka Sympathy asks Sadhguru. It's only 4 minutes
business
long.
cards. Yeah, we print that. But did you know we also print that?
Namaskaram Sadhguruji. I'm Divyanka Tripathi Dahiya. And it's a privilege that I can ask you
He
something.
talks really fast.
My question is that why are all the forbidden things so enjoyable? And how to stay away from such temptations?
Namaskaram, Divyanka. Who forbid you from doing what? So this, what is forbidden and what is allowed is not a part of this culture. This comes from another place. You know about the dumb couple? You heard of those dumb couple, Divyanka? Adam and Eve I'm talking about.
The dumb couple, Adam and Eve, he said.
So, when they did not know what to do with each other, they ate that apple. They had only one apple and they thought they were in heaven. So after
They had only one apple, they thought they were in heaven.
And the forbidden
So stupid.
What people have forgotten is the forbidden fruit was the fruit of knowledge.
It was the knowledge, not the apple.
So, God said, it seems, do not eat the fruit of knowledge.
Be stupid.
Because knowledge is forbidden. Because life
sounds like
happens
slavery.
out of awareness,
Damn,
not
those are both
knowledge. Right now, we have accumulated stuff in our life in such a way, something is good, something is bad, something is virtue, something is sin. Because of this kind of divisions, because of this kind of discrimination from one activity to another, now we have these problems. These things have been said by people who have no clue what human mind is made.
Right, but what he's saying is saying basically we should not embrace knowledge, but without knowledge we would have no society, so that we would have less population. That population might be happier, but without organized society, like, you know, all these people are preaching like, don't eat flour, don't eat all this processed foods, and don't eat all these things. Well, if people didn't, we wouldn't have enough food. You know what I mean? So, like, it sounds great in theory, but like, the system doesn't support it. Not currently.
You can win this thing.
And but I don't know. If it would, that sucks if that one died. What the F? I need the thing that can make guys into
if I ask
tanks.
you not to think
And
about
I think I'm gonna have to sell
monkeys
this
for the
one.
next 10 seconds, can you activity to another? Now we have these problems. These things have been said by people who have no clue what human mind is made of. Right now, Divyanka, if I ask you not to think about monkeys for the next 10 seconds, can you not think about monkeys? You'll think only about monkeys. So, the very nature of the mind is such that in this mind,
I could do it.
there is only addition and multiplication, there is no subtraction and division. That is,
Damn
you
it.
cannot take one
That's
thought
good.
out of your mind. If you make
Okay, okay.
efforts, it will only multiply. It is like a car with all three pedals are throttle, whatever you touch, it only goes faster.
All three pedals are throttle.
So, in this mind, somebody told you, this is a sin, do not think about it, that becomes your full-time job.
Of course I got
So
that.
drop this, what is forbidden and what is not forbidden. What is your natural inclination, that you do joyfully, there is really no harm in that. And when you take time to recognize what is your natural inclination, believe me, you will not do anything in excess. You will see that everything falls into place as it should be. Right now, small things have become big things in people's minds simply because they're trying to avoid it. This is the nature of the mind. What you don't want to think about, that's all you will think about.
This looks good now.
Namaskaram, Sadhguru.
Oh no, I lost all those. I closed the wrong YouTube Twitch. I closed the wrong YouTube Chrome tab. Subscriptions? Oh, whoa. Ludwig. Oh, I thought that was Shroud for a second. It's Ludwig. SpaceX is live right now. I wonder what they're doing. Unfortunately, that'd be very visible.
I think you can win.
Anthony Pompoloni's got something out about crypto. Russell Brand. He's got good, decent length videos. Let's see what he's got to talk about. Elon Musk versus Big Pharma. 10 minutes ago. 12 minutes long. Perfect.
Introducing Remarkable 2, the paper tablet.
8:30. We streamed till 9, so
New way to
perfect.
take notes.
Oh, this is gonna be huge. I'm gonna shoot out so many
and
bombs.
review documents with unparalleled paper feel. Order yours today at remarkable.com.
There it goes. Beat him. Probably like, what?
Guys, think you can't eat like this to lose weight? Yes, you can. Nutrisystem is...
Elon Musk has said Wellbutrin ain't no good and should be took off the
Oh, yeah,
market,
Wellbutrin,
whereas
yeah.
psychedelics are good. So is Elon Musk now taking on Big Pharma? Hello there, you 5.6
Darn
million
it.
wonders, you awakening
Oh,
miracles,
nice.
you great soulmates of mine. Let us voyage onwards together, stirring the light, awakening, connecting, becoming as one, that we may gloriously explore ourselves as individuals and a collective. You know the sort of thing I say. Hey, are you a subscriber to this yet?
You know,
Subscribe right
the normal
now.
things I
Click on
say
the
all the time,
notification bell.
duh.
You ought to. Have you listened to everything
Duh.
Elon Musk said, and have you replaced your thoughts with Elon Musk's thoughts? But Elon Musk is in a
Death Roll,
unique
summon
position
5.
now. Elon Musk is in all our phones, in all our hearts, in all our lives. He is regarded as distinct and separate from your everyday billionaire because he's a provocateur, he's a raconteur, he's a storyteller, he's a joker, he's a mischief maker. He is still a billionaire, and I'm sure that there are many challenges, economic ones and stuff to do with power dynamics, that are incumbent within that status. But for now, Elon Musk has bought Twitter, and he promises to make it a place where people can speak freely. I believe that's a good thing, even though I know that that will mean I'm subjected to opinions and tweets, I suppose, I'm not into. But isn't your life always sort of a bit like that? And also, he is now confronting or taking on Big Pharma. Well, what a fascinating development.
Not really. He said
because
one
Elon
thing
Musk, perhaps uniquely
about...
in the world, can say something and then affect share prices sort of overnight.
Damn it.
Is Elon Musk the closest
Did not see
thing
that part
to Trump
coming.
that Twitter's had since it banned Trump? And what is Twitter going to do now that Trump Mark II owns Twitter? You can't ban the boss, can you? Let's see what he said. Let's see whether what
Oh
he
no,
said
if that
is
one
true or
dies,
not.
damn
Let's
it.
see if you agree with it. 'Cause this is the
Oh,
other
nice.
thing.
Oh, no, that one's
A
gonna
lot
die.
of the
Okay.
Elon Musk arguments don't make sense. You know,
The one
you
I
know
have
that
right now is like a total
already. He's
random
billionaire,
build. Like,
he owns
it's like
tech
all luck.
all tech platforms
That's
run
really
by
crazy.
billionaires, and also by some people that have seen
Kill
a
the
little more nefarious
stupid
than
dragon.
Elon
Yeah,
Musk.
damn it. That's one we need to kill. Damn
Elon
it.
Musk, though, he shouldn't be able to criticize Big Pharma.
Oh, he won.
Opioid crisis. Let's see what he's done and said this time. Elon Musk was hit with pushback.
Oh,
They always
shit.
do that, don't they? They always report on the pushback. There's been some pushback. Like, that already shows you that there's a perspective at play here. Elon Musk was hit with pushback after tweeting on Friday that the antidepressant Wellbutrin is way worse than Adderall and should be taken off the market. Now, the fact that Elon Musk has got so much power that when he says something like that, it's significant, might affect market value. I don't know, man. What does that mean? That Elon Musk has got to play by a certain set of rules, and then who decides what those rules are? And what does Twitter become if your expectation is that he monitors it in accordance with the principles of the previous owners, and then everything he says should be subject to a set of criteria that I'm not even sure that I understand yet? What's wrong with him saying that? Musk said, every time that drug has come up in conversation...
My mom got in an
someone
argument with me the
has
other day about something
suicide
just
or
like
near
this. She's
suicide.
like, everything is on the news. See, you listen to the internet, and the news is regulated. And I was like, yeah, by corporations that only want certain information to go out, and it's regulated against all information. You know what I mean? Or it's like filtered information. It's not just true information. Now, don't get me wrong, on the internet you can get completely false information, sure. But, you know, survival of the fittest. Someone's got to, hopefully, I mean, I wish everybody be educated enough to avoid every pitfall, but it just doesn't happen. You know what I mean? So we can't bubble wrap everybody for the minority's sake, unfortunately, which I know is a horrible thing to say, but it's just like we have to. We're never going to progress if we keep trying to stay the same.
Side story, he added. I suppose what's funny is that Elon Musk's dinner time chats can influence the news cycle. Musk's initial comment was tweeted in response to an
Hey, wait, why doesn't he have his...
2016 New York Times magazine feature titled Generation Adderall, a story about Adderall abuse and withdrawal. Musk also opined on the effectiveness of psychedelics and other plant-based substances as treatments for mental health-related issues, tweeting, I've talked to many more people who were helped by psychedelics and ketamine than SSRIs and amphetamines. Well, what that is an opinion. And even in the tweet, he's saying, I spoke to people at a dinner party.
Oh, there's a 4% chance
I
this is lethal.
Conducted a medical study of 1,000
shit.
different participants. You know, I mean, he's saying this is an opinion. So is he allowed an opinion? That's up to you. Comment below.
Yeah, he's
Is
definitely allowed
Elon
an opinion.
Musk
People are
allowed
being
to
dumb.
have opinions. Now, you know, he's a billionaire, he's super rich, he owns Twitter now. Does that mean he's not allowed opinions? Let's
There it is.
recognise that Elon Musk's opinions have more weight, freight, power, influence than mine or yours. But does that mean he's not allowed to have them? I don't know. And if you do believe that, if what your concern is hold on a minute, power is getting too centralized in the case of Elon Musk, then that means you've got a metric by which you've judged too much power. So then you've got to apply that everywhere. What about Jeff Bezos? What about Bill Gates? What about the President of the United States? What about, there's all sort of, the President of the United States, he was elected. Okay. Like you've got to start applying that metric everywhere. You can't just say, which is what I believe is happening, I don't like that person, I want them to shut up. If they agree with me, I would.
Or if it's like, oh, you have over $1 billion, now you automatically have these filters you have to apply to.
Verbally. And if I could just stop them, yeah, maybe I would, but I can't, and I accept that. Like, this shows you what kind of media biases we're talking about, because rather than reporting
that's
on
a
the
TV
point
showing
Elon
his
Musk
backyard.
is
It's not really
making,
his backyard.
are psychedelics more effective than many of the sanctioned drugs
window.
that Big Pharma puts out? That's the question he's posing, isn't it? Instead, they report on the pushback. There's been a pushback. There was a pushback the other day. And what does that tell you? That the big media and Big Pharma and the government are in alliance, not in some sort of way, but just in there'll be people on the boards of big media that are on the boards of Big Pharma that have held government office. And the
But
whole
they all just
thing
know
is
each other. It's not
accepted to be
like
sort of a network
scheme.
of
It's just
nodes
unfortunately
of
they're all each other's friends.
interconnected and mutually
Oh, I got against the
supportive
person that's not
interests.
here. Oh,
Otherwise,
epic.
you would say, as we are going to say now, is Elon Musk right? Are psychedelics more effective than Big Pharma drugs? Let's consider that together. Rick Doblin, founder and executive of the Multidisciplinary Association for Psychedelic Studies. In May 21, Nature Medicine published the results of the most advanced trial of psychedelic therapy to date. In our phase 3 trial of MDMA-assisted therapy for PTSD, 88% of participants who received MDMA in conjunction with trauma-focused therapy experienced a clinically significant reduction in symptoms. Well, that's very impressive. That's some information that's worthwhile. It's a clinical trial. It's a study. That's data. That's not just Elon Musk said a thing. I don't like it. Why don't Elon Musk agree with me? 67% of participants no longer met criteria for a
that's such a great
PTSD
card.
diagnosis. Many participants reported
it's probably better than that, even.
MDMA-assisted therapy helped them address the root cause of their trauma for the first time. These are interesting conversations. There are a lot of sick people in the world. I know this because I'm one of them. There's a lot of people that have been damaged by life. We need new solutions where the priority is the efficacy of the medicine rather than the profitability of the medicine. Don't you feel that again and again in our public discourse, in the conversations around Big Pharma, around the lack of trust around Big Pharma, the bloody lawsuits, the opioid crisis, all this stuff? So therefore, Elon Musk's question and inquiry, is it a bad thing or is it a bloody helpful thing? Even if he's wrong.
Man, I got all
more
shit cards.
studies for alternative medicines
I can't even
that
believe I'm in
perhaps
third
have
place right
less
now.
negative side effects that might not be as profitable but might be more effective.
I'm like 2
Hit me up
turns
in the
behind these
comments
guys
below. What
now.
do you want to know? Can you think of anything recently about...
Can you think of any cards I could have gotten?
treatments that might
Could I have
affect
re-rolled and
close
refreshed
down?
5 times and gotten the cards I would have needed? Ugh.
Chronic suicidal tendencies,
That's
PTSD
I
symptoms,
talking.
and depression. Legal ketamine clinics, which pair therapy with the drug, can play a key role in maximising the benefits and reducing the risks of the psychedelic experience. Psilocybin-assisted therapy is a breakthrough therapy for depression. Well,
Yeah, I've
there we
heard
are. This is
microdosing that.
exactly the kind of conversation we should be having.
Supposed to
So
be
is
huge.
Elon Musk irresponsible for making that point and using his platform to generate conversation? In fact, 4 separate systematic reviews have been published this year highlighting
In fact,
the potential
4
of
separate
psychedelic-assisted
systematic
therapies
reviews
for those conditions and more.
have been
Conversely,
published
the
just this
well-documented
year.
devastation
Oh,
of
it's
the
Mac
war on
versus
drugs
Mac.
has been
Oh, I'm not
responsible
the favorite,
for
that's for sure.
untold trauma.
He's got way
Over
more
the
golds
last
than
5
me.
years,
Man, I did not
medicinal
get the
psychedelics
golds.
have made incredible strides in the face of strict regulations and stigma. What is the function of stigma? It's a type of taboo. It prevents you from exploring something with an open mind. That's what stigma is. Think of the things that have been stigmatised in the past. Interracial sex, same-sex marriages. Stigmatised, prevented from being discussed. When something is stigmatised, you can't investigate it properly and openly. Does anyone benefit from particular types
Weed.
of stigmas and taboos? Hit me up in the comments. Meanwhile, existing drug therapies...
Kill the
depression,
guy with the
addiction, and
freaking...
PTSD
This one. We
fail
need this one to
produce
die.
real and lasting results.
No,
Right, well, there you
this
go.
one.
So not only is it a worthwhile conversation, even if he's
Kill
wrong,
this
not only
one.
is he entitled
Not
to
for
have an
him,
opinion
ours.
Because he's a person.
Sons
but
of
in this case, it
bitches.
seems like he's got a point. Roughly 2/3 of US
Ah,
veterans
this is garbage,
suffering
never mind.
from PTSD have reported
GG.
dissatisfaction with current treatments. 2/3 of Americans with depression
If he
don't
wins,
even
it's
bother with
lethal,
treatment
so I'm
because common
dead. Darn it.
medications are largely ineffective. Antidepressants take weeks or months to kick in, if they do at all. Even then, they come with a daunting list of side effects and also add to the risk of addiction. That's been my experience with antidepressants. I've not taken them for a long, long time, decades. But I've always felt like, oh God, it's going to take a month before the bloody thing kicks in. Stuff that's, I don't know, more natural or experimental or just advanced pharmacology. These sorts of things, I think, would be interesting. Speaking as a person that suffered from mental health issues from childhood, certainly through adolescence.
Okay, last one, I
early
think. Let's see what time is it.
These are the kind of solutions that perhaps could have made my life a little different. But it gets worse. Antidepressants like Tranquilix come with a warning for suicidal thoughts and actions.
It gets worse.
Bloody hell, that's not an ideal side effect of an antidepressant. So do Zoloft and Xanax, both addictive medications. These treatments are meant to ease depression and anxiety, not exasperate them.
That's because
and
if they
conventional drugs like these come with
unfortunately they have those side effects on there because if you have certain types of depression, like if your depression's caused from being bipolar, then certain drugs will push you over the edge potentially to kill yourself. So those are valid concerns.
a life sentence of permanent use. Oh, well, I suppose that would be a benefit if you were, like, selling those things. We might imagine that Big Pharma would invest more in more effective humane treatments for mental illness. In reality, multinational pharmaceutical companies appear to have abandoned forward movement on mental health treatments altogether. Right, so there's a financial component to
it feels like we haven't really progressed mental health at all.
Musk's tweet now appears to have
just new drugs
an
coming out.
origin that may be financial in nature. Generic competition has strengthened.
You have to be careful with that,
earnings
though. Yeah, it's like you gotta be careful what you wish for. You wish for tech to solve mental issues. You want them to do that. It's so hard for people to trust cures for mental issues because no one wants to think that they're thinking wrong. You know what I mean? So it's really hard to get people to, one, take cures for mental issues, and then two, if it's tech or something like that, it's like, well, that's scary because then it could be like, can you imagine if like whole populations have a chip in their brain and the government has control to help everybody, you know, with their mental issues, and like they're like, oh, everybody's getting a little rowdy, everybody's a little depressed. We'll just hit a couple buttons on the keyboard, give them a little extra dopamine, a little extra, you know, this and that, you know, a little less testosterone, a little more estrogen, or you know what I mean? They can just balance everything out. They just adjust your brain to change the chemical factory, and then you're a totally different person. They do it to everybody. I know there's been like Twilight movies or Black Mirror or some shit about that.
For the firms that make these drugs are a shadow of the past. By 2019, the worldwide sales of the antidepressant market leaders will be half of that achieved in 2004. They are also controversial and expensive to research. Some of the bigger industry players decided it was easier to make money in oncology or diabetes, and so they weren't investing, says Harry Tracy. That's the wrong attitude, isn't it? Isn't medicine supposed to be about healing and helping people, or is medicine and Big Pharma about profits? What does your experience tell you?
That's mainly because of the stock market.
What have you been shown? What does that tell you that they stop research if the area is not profitable? It shows you that it's for profit. Okay, then. So now,
because they need good. Okay, so he doesn't understand economics, and I know he does though. I don't know. No, he doesn't really follow economics. Basically, the stock market killed commercialism. Like, yes, it funded commercialism and gave people money, but now, if it's a public company, the CEO is more. It's more beneficial for the CEO to make profits because that's how they get bonused. And if they don't make profits, then they don't get bonuses. So instead of thinking of what products can we make to be innovative or awesome, they think of what products can we make to make sure we make a profit, and that's all we worry about, so that we can all get our bonuses and our paychecks. So the stock goes up, you know, because the stock market just cares about profits and the stock going up. Now, actually, that was an old mentality, but Elon Musk might be changing that because his company is worth his stock is worth like 100 times more than his companies are. So I don't know. It's interesting.
And the systems behind it, it's greedy, and they're not going to research more effective products. And in fact, they're going to resent.
But it's not just the board members' greed. It's not just like the C-level execs' greed. It's all of us too. Because as soon as the stock market goes down, everybody hems and haws. Well, like, we either gotta take money away from them or not, you know? Like, come on, guys.
Competition, if
everyone
it's
wants
cheaper,
their cake
less
and eat it too.
Natural, all sorts of things can be, if not assumed, certainly imagined.
I'm taking this guy just to give me the
Harry Tracy, whose newsletter
the 3 gold back.
tracks developments in drug treatments for psychiatric problems. Why would they choose not to invest in proven psychedelic therapeutic medicines? The reason is that Big Pharma has little actual interest in curing people. A minimal dosage, long-term effective treatment model for mental health disorders would mean losing the cornerstone of their business, returning customers. They like people sick. Huge pharmaceutical corporations.
Can you imagine if they could just put like a little bit of psilocybin in a pill and then like just take this once a day for the next 3 months or 6 months or a year even, who cares, right? It could be a year. Take this little pill with a little bit of psilocybin in it for a year and get counseling. You need guidance because your mindset, your perspective is warped, you know? So go get counseling. You need someone from the outside world to help you think of ideas to get better that aren't tainted with whatever's wrong with you. And take this little psilocybin for a year. You go through that process and you'll be more right, you know, like more level-headed. You'll be more zen, basically. You want to look at it that way for how you should be, I guess. You'll be normal, quote unquote.
Corporations rely on sick people remaining sick to their own detriment. In addition, Big Pharma is also facing a patent cliff as many of their patents are starting to expire. With no new developments for mental health treatments, the industry is losing revenue, customers, and public confidence. I hope I'm not naive about Elon Musk. I don't imagine that he's some kind of billionaire, Tony Stark, Jesus figure. I know him to be a human being with assets and flaws like all human beings. But with the recent stories around Musk, whether it's his purchase of Twitter and his commitment to free speech, or his willingness to openly confront Big Pharma in the area of mental health, it seems that there is at least some legitimacy to the things that Elon Musk has said. Plus, you know, he's gone to space, invented an electric car, and he likes this channel. So my objectivity is
and he likes this channel.
But that's just what I think. Let me know what you think. Hit us up in the comments below. Give us a
I like
a
Russell
thumbs up,
Brand.
turn
He
on the
actually interviews
notification
some
bell so we can
really clever
let
people
you know when
sometimes.
we're doing this stuff.
He's
Please
really
subscribe
he
to my
pivoted
mailing
really
list. It's
fast.
really
If you go back to his earlier videos, because I saw him on there because I liked. He was on a talk show, like a morning talk show, with some people, and they were razzing him, and they were being rude as hell, like talking about him as if he wasn't there and stuff, even though he was, and like all this shit. So he laid into them, and it got analyzed. Oh, that's why it's all zoomed in. It's like, why is my shit so crazy looking? It got analyzed, and he was just like so smart and clever, and then he started his own YouTube talk show. But that, like, he was like super spiritual about it in the beginning. Like, it was all about spirituality, and I liked that stuff, but it wasn't really popular. And now he started tackling like popular issues, and man, he's done so much better. It's so cool, and he's been really good at it because he's bringing like that wholesome kind of spiritual view to these crazy issues and like open-mindedness, like a Sadhguru style type of deal. And I just really appreciate that. Sometimes he doesn't always have a full grasp on what's going on, I feel, but you know, he's doing his best, and it's insightful. Makes you
Take
think
this
at least.
free survey before your local power company tries to block it. They have spent years trying.
Dave Chappelle being attacked on stage. Are we seeing the
Taunt.
consequences of
Add a demon in your hand. Oh, thank
fundamentalism?
you. I need the level 3 demon. I need the guy that makes sure I don't take damage when I play a demon.
On this journey of discovery and inquiry, uncertain at the moment as to what is correct and right, but knowing that it will involve coming together and being able to hold apparently opposing ideas in your mind simultaneously, like traditionalism versus progressivism.
It will take coming together.
Stuff you disagree with.
May we all gather here today to witness the marriage of
evolving,
Buttercup and
unusual. This incident
No, wait,
is
I don't remember their
an
names.
interesting
Princess
one because it gives
Buttercup.
us an opportunity to analyze the way that our culture is
No, I'm
devouring
thinking- I'm mixing up
itself. A
Spaceballs
Ouroboros,
with,
a self-consuming
Princess's
serpent
Bride.
that lays out rules.
May
new
we all
regulations
gather here
that
today
seem not to chime or vibe or align
to
with
witness
the way
the
that some
matrimony.
people want to live. Before we
I
get
can't
into
do it.
that,
I
I
had to
want to
hear
thank
it.
all 5.6 million of you.
Sorry,
for
Russell, I
following
was
us.
not
wanna
trying to
make
be
sure that
rude.
If you're not a subscriber yet, you should
Wasn't trying to be rude,
subscribe.
old
And I
chap.
should
Just
warn you
kind of
that
happened.
if
Sorry,
you
buddy.
see in the comments someone going,
Can't
follow
forward.
me and I'll give you some hookup to Bitcoin or something like like that or cryptocurrency. That is not me. I will
That
never
is
ask
not
you for anything
me.
significant. Now,
It's
if we
not
have
me
a
at all.
look
It's
at
just
the
not
moment where
me.
Dave Chappelle was attacked. Now remember, I'm a stand-up comedian myself, so I've got skin in the game. And remember, we're all still sort of adjusting and evaluating what happened around Will Smith. Do you remember for a couple of days, no one really wanted to say that was wrong? We did a video
I got the
about
one
it
I needed.
at the time. And I was
That's
like,
the guy
"This is
I
a bit
needed."
weird," 'cause I really like Will
Sweet.
Smith. He's lovely, but it can't be right.
He's
to
lovely. He's a
attack
lovely
someone on
person.
Stage, can it?
Will
Let's
Smith
have a
is
look
a
what's happened
lovely
now
person.
to beloved Dave Chappelle.
Breaking news tonight.
Breaking
at the
news.
Hollywood Bowl, you're looking at
Breaking
aerial
news
pictures
tonight.
here of a man who rushed the stage while comedian Dave Chappelle was
F that
performing.
dude.
He tackled Dave Chappelle. Chappelle appearing in a comedy show there to a packed house. He has been there over the weekend. I actually attended one of the shows on Saturday night.
I actually went myself. It was a good night.
I was
When you
there.
watch this kind
That
of
was
footage,
great.
Are you getting the sense of a dystopia unfolding around you? A hyper reality where celebrity court cases are entertainment, where ongoing
Yeah, it's jacked
pandemics
up.
fluctuate in their significance, where
They're
wars are
stupid.
very, very important one moment and then drift out of your consciousness the next, where comedians are attacked on stage just months after we
Eat
saw
yourself.
a high-profile actor attack a high-profile comic for making what seemed at the time like a relatively innocuous, if perhaps somewhat insensitive joke. What is happening to our culture? We're in this continual state of fraught conflict and uncertainty
Raw.
with no principles
It's
to
raw.
return to, no recourse to a set
I
of
like it
shared
raw.
values that we all know are basically correct. We are defined at this time by oppositionism. Here's where I stand. I would say that
You're
anybody
sitting, buddy.
should be
You're
able
sitting.
to identify however they want to.
With the
And
condom
by that
hat on.
same principle of freedom, a comedian on stage should be able to say whatever they want to say.
Just because
If
I'm making
you
fun of
want
him does
the
not mean
right
I do
to
not
say
agree with what he's
whatever you
saying,
want
because
to
I do.
say, you should respect the right of people to identify however they want to identify, and vice versa. If you want
If
the
somebody's
person
standing up on a soapbox and you don't want to hear what they're having to say, it is not up to them to stop saying what they're saying. It is up to you to walk away. Within reason, obviously. There are certain cases where somebody's spouting off things that they should not be spouting off, you know, like you shouldn't be yelling fire in a church or in a movie theater, you know what I mean, or bomb. But with respect, if you should also go about it with respect, but then it's like, okay, well, how do you measure respect? What is respect? And what's considered disrespectful? Okay, well, someone's going to be in charge of filtering something at some point. This makes it hard.
freedom to be whoever you are, free from imaginary constructed restraint, then you should recognize that some people are going to say
Better
stuff.
recognize.
Now, unless we can get to
You
that
better
point
recognize
where people are
that
willing to
this
look at
guy
the
should
other
go away.
perspective instead of fiercely guarding their own, we do not
Probably
have a
this
culture
guy for
anymore.
sure.
We have a sort of vibrating conflict.
I think
a kind
this
of
guy should go
burgeoning
away.
Confrontation, just waiting to be born. We are constrained.
Because I mean, I'm gonna
no
I'm
real
gonna ramp up
alliance.
this one
And
instead,
recognise that
and
there
that
are
this
other
one doesn't kill
cultural
me.
ideas in this world, Chinese state
Oh,
communism, fundamentalist
he goes up
religious
2-2 though.
ideologies that are pretty clear about what they
But I have to
believe
keep
in,
this
what
guy
they
for this
believe is
guy,
right, what they believe is
which
wrong.
that sucks.
So as our Western culture falls into decline, and while I recognise it was necessary to address
It is one of those things you have to do
institutional
early,
ideas
right?
around
Otherwise
race and
it-
gender and sexuality.
it's not worth
There's
the
been a lot
same.
of corruption, a lot of unfairness. Rampant capitalism is out of control. Centralised power of big tech, big media, big business, big pharma.
big,
It's
big.
ridiculous. It's gotten out of hand. But it can't be enough for them to simply slap on the badges of BLM or some other woke cause and not address the fundamental issue: economic inequality, spiritual
yeah.
detachment from reality. You
Oh,
walk into
yeah.
a shop or a store and it means nothing to you anymore. You have no connection to where your food comes from. You have no connection to where information comes from. You have no connection to your neighbors. You are an atomized consumer existing in this world solely to make purchases, to stare dumbly and numbly at screens. And as long as that's your reality, then the titillation and stimulation of sort of
I like
trials
titties.
about important things,
I'm
but
just kidding.
personal things or attacks on stage will be deemed significant. We are watching
Yeah, they are
the
peddly
spectacle
bullshit
eat
things.
itself.
There's
We
countries
have
at
to
war
create
right now.
Our own connections, our own communities. We have to rediscover our own values. We have to detach ourselves from this illusion and discover
There's
what
people
is real,
starving to death,
what
and
we're
we're
all
worried
doing.
about
The
people being
controversial
fucking slapped on
comedian has been
stage.
controversial for much of his career. His remarks in lately involving LGBTQ community have sparked some outrage, and he has been unapologetic about that, except saying that he has a lot of love and respect for the LGBTQ plus community.
Yeah, they're mad because he brought it up his friend.
Places of uncertainty,
he talked about them and they got mad.
Pose questions and ideas and invite us to make inquiry about them. What is right? What is wrong? Who are we? You don't think those questions are relevant? I suppose if you are a person who feels personally offended by Chappelle, then I suppose what I would do, because I've had, by the way, comedians literally attack me, not in the abstract. Russell Brand is a, I've had that happen.
Yeah.
What I feel is I don't like it very much, actually. But I suppose what you have to
so
do
I didn't really like it very much. I didn't really like it. It was not something that I really appreciated.
Dave Chappelle is a bad person in some weird, permanent, concrete way that's different from other people. I don't. I think Dave Chappelle is a brilliant person, asking important questions. And you've got to trust with some people that they kind of know what they're doing, and if you don't like it, I suppose you have to make a personal choice to not get involved in it. Economically, Netflix have obviously made their choice. Now, me, where do I personally stand on issues of gender and sexual identity? I've got children. I want them to be whoever they are. I'm going to have to freeze. And cultural influence. I don't want any social force that doesn't feel right to them preventing them actualizing who they are, and I'll do whatever I can as a heterosexual cis man to ensure that those little people become whoever they're meant to be. And I recognize I've got my own biases and my own problems, but I'm completely open to my ignorance. I'm completely open to my limitations and expanding those limitations.
Oh, I was fighting against the dead one.
What is enough? If Dave Chappelle isn't enough, what is enough? If people are getting attacked on stage for saying stuff, where are we now?
And
you go there, you come here, you come here.
Controversy in his act,
you go there.
That I saw on Friday
you
night.
come here.
Increasingly, it seems like the social function
now
of
you go
comedians
there.
is to tell the truth, is to get into difficult spaces and explore the tensions that exist there. If we're gonna see these figures shut down first online, then physically rush on stage.
Oh, darn it! I meant to grab this one and eat him.
Because I'll tell you this. This phase of civilization isn't working and isn't going to work. It don't matter if you get Ron DeSantis, Donald Trump, the next Clinton.
Well, we should
Biden,
get a bunch of cards now, though.
Whoever is going to be churned out by or Obama, that the system's going to churn out. It will not work. So where is this new thing going to come from?
It doesn't work like that.
Where will it be born if we don't approach
Crew
one another
3
with
mission
open
return.
hearts?
Oh, that's what's happening right now.
The establishment fears most is people from different ideological perspectives putting aside their differences, coming together against real centralized power, the ability to control resources and manipulate outcomes.
Look like they're all dead. They're not moving
big
it up.
pharma, big business, state government.
They're like not moving at all.
Everything outside of that. Respect one another.
That was
love
weird.
one another. Forgive
They're
one
alive.
another.
Don't get me
Allow
wrong.
one another to be who you are. And for God's sake, don't rush shamanic on-stage figures who are trying to explore these ideas in real time. Don't lean into censorship. Don't think that that's the solution to prohibit and prevent the conversation taking place. That is never the answer.
I think this guy's going to go away.
That is the suspect who's been loaded onto an ambulance. According to witnesses, he rushed onto stage while Chappelle
I need to get up to the high-level demons.
And
I need
we
5
have
and
reports
6
that
quick.
the person was armed with a gun and a knife. We do not believe either one of those weapons was used.
Wow, I mean, if this is an armed person, if this could have led to a sort of an on-stage sacrifice of an
He said they were armed?
And we
never the answer.
That is the suspect who's been loaded onto an ambulance. According to witnesses, he rushed onto stage while Chappelle was performing, and we have reports that the person was armed with a gun and a knife. We do not believe either one of those weapons was used.
Wow, I mean, if this is an armed person, if this could have
Wow,
led to a
that guy could have killed Dave
on-stage
Chappelle if he wanted to.
sacrifice of an actual real-time genius. Imagine
That guy really
what
could
we'd
have
be
just killed
dealing
him.
with then. Perhaps restraint of tongue and pen and keyboard is something we might consider before damning and condemning another person. I know I opine here on this channel.
How is this person beating me? Damn.
It's clear to you that what I am ultimately saying is I don't understand other people's perspectives entirely.
Oh, he tied.
I am willing to enter into discourse and conversation in good faith, with open heart, with almost anybody, in order that we can start to create new institutions, new cultural spaces together, that we should put aside our bombast and certainty wherever we see ourselves on the spectra or within hierarchies and look at the other person's perspective and be open to the other person's perspective.
Satisfied
Look at where it leads. I don't know if these narratives are
Eat 'em.
projected
Haha, your
from
health is
us, but
mine.
It's just a bit unusual, isn't it? That 1 minute we're looking at Will Smith
Darn
smacking
it.
Chris Rock about, then the next minute we're seeing Dave Chappelle attacked. Meanwhile, we're aware of Chappelle's own backstory around LGBTQ plus issues. We know that
Plus.
this conflagration, this hostility is brewing. And I want to tell you something that I strongly feel.
Get off my
that the
playing field.
establishment, those that are truly powerful,
We'll keep that one just in case.
benefit greatly.
Come on, give me the
Ordinary
demon.
People from across
well,
the economic,
that's a demon.
racial, and identity scale
It's
being
good.
at odds with one another. It pleases them.
Whoops.
It pleases them for us to be
We'll get rid of this
tribalised.
guy now.
It pleases them for us to be clashing heads when we should be coming together, putting our heads together, collaborating together.
Was that Will Smith?
And there we go.
He said, was
At
that
least
Will
Chris
Smith?
Rock gets to catharsize and metabolize
Was that Will Smith?
moment that must have really, really
That's
been
hilarious.
very difficult for him to deal with. That's one good thing that's come from this. Chris Rock finally gets to do the punchline after his slap line a month or so ago. So something
Was that
good
Will
has come from
Smith?
it. And perhaps yet more good might come from it. Ask yourself, is Dave Chappelle
Oh, 95%
a
win on this
fundamentally
guy.
malevolent person?
And
Can
he
we
is in
conclusively
third
say
place?
there should be no more
Nice.
discourse and conversation around
I got my
these
beasts
issues? Are
going.
we saying there are some things you don't joke about? Are we saying that to joke about something is the same as to absolutely disrespect people? Are we
Oh,
saying
no,
there
you
is
can't
no
spawn
way
nothing.
that people from different perspectives can come
I need that one
together and
spawning
create a
stuff so
shared
the other guy
culture?
can
Are we saying that it's not
get
possible
bigger,
for
stronger,
different groups of
faster,
people might be
better.
able to live together in different forms of
Oh, look at
alignment? Are we
this.
saying
You,
that it's
oh,
acceptable
damn, that's
to
so many
attack
cards.
people with
Why did that
physical
happen?
violence for making jokes? You know, we don't yet know that there's a direct corollary between those issues, but we do know that there is an ongoing mounting tension day by day where different communities and groups are turned against one another for what seems to me to be increasingly spurious reasons. And I say that with an open heart to all people and an understanding that there are certain ways of feeling and being that I will never understand. So the only option available to me is compassion and
Weird, I dropped
openness
something
and
and it disappeared.
acceptance
Oh, there
of
it
my own lack of understanding because of the
it's
limitations
gone.
of my own experience.
It's a
The open
disappear.
heart is everything.
All right,
My personal belief, Dave Chappelle has such a heart. To attack him on stage is not the answer to our current problems. But that's just what I think. What do you think? Hit me up in the comments below. Are you a comedian? Are you affected directly by these issues? How do you want
so
to see
offended,
this conversation
Russell.
develop? If you're not a subscriber yet, subscribe right now. Turn on the notification bell. If you enjoyed this video, watch this one or this one. Similar issues, hopefully
Jeez.
similarly handled. Sign up to my mailing list. I want you to be a member of my
I'll
community.
never
in case we get on this
satisfy.
platform
Oh, I should be
one
giving
day.
it to that one.
I love you. Please stay together. Please be willing to converse and be open with one another. Stay free.
Stay free. Stay salty, my friends. Damn, 327. Maybe I should keep that one. Too late. Damn it, I should have. Dude, why do I have this luck?
Keep up the momentum, friend.
Oh, damn. Wait, at the end of your turn, give a friendly dragon 2/2. What's giving him so much? Whenever a friendly pirate... Pirates. Was that a 6? Oh, that was a 6. Whenever a friendly pirate attacks, give all friendly minions 2/1. Oh, and then it's keeping it every time. Alright. Oh, that's what I wanted. That was one of them. Damn, you won by 3 health. Ah, I'm not dead yet, though. Woo, that was close. Woo, doggy. Woo, doggy. Oh, nice. Huge. Oh, sick. Yeah, if you want to come, dude, my brother would appreciate that, too. For sure. Okay, he's got to go. This one comes into play. This one now goes away. Let's go up to this. This guy eats himself? Yes. This guy comes into play, then goes away. This guy comes into play, then goes away. No demons. Dude, what the F? Like the stupidest demon ever. So dumb. Everything's a taunt. I have all taunts. Cool, cool. Yeah, I'll let him know. Well, I'll call tomorrow and I'll let you know. I mean, I gotta call the marina. If we don't go to Saguaro, it'll be Canyon Lake though, so it just kind of depends. We're just gonna get a pontoon boat, you know, go out there and chill, drive around the lake, drop magnets in the water, and get them out. My cousin Jason might come too. Just FYI, but you're cool with him, I think, yeah. Oh, dude, that's another trips. Oh, shit, if he wins, I'm dead. Damn it, he won. So everything's fucking poisonous. I thought I was in fourth. It's close. I was getting there. I needed to get up to 5 and 6 quicker. I forgot. Oh, I tied for third. Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, I'd be sick though, dude. That'd be cool. Guys, magnet fishing trip. It sounds funny, but I did crappy. Let's see, top 5 heroes. Oh no. So I got a 4th place, a 3rd place, a 4th place, a 6th place, a 5th place tonight. Damn. $14. Yeah, most minion damage 3,149. I believe it was I think it was elementals a little while ago. They had some kind of weird glitch where you can like get an elemental up so crazy high. Damn, 30,000. 331. What's up? Oh, I haven't looked at this really. These are all the current heroes. I don't think I've seen her. Oh, she gets the treasure map or some stupid shit. Yeah. Oh, these aren't all in right now, I don't think. Oh, they are, I think. Oh, that's cool. I didn't even know there was different bartenders. Okay. Oh, those are just the different versions of them. I don't think these are all in right now. Maybe. Hang on. Oh, maybe they are. Yeah, so far. Actually, I don't know if I've seen him recently, but I've seen all these recently. Yeah, maybe it is. Damn, they have a lot of heroes in here now. That's why I've spent like half my gold. Because I was at like 9,000. I've been buying the perk because I've been playing quite a bit. Yeah, it was fun. It was cool listening and learning at the same time, right? Playing and learning. Like just playing these card games by themselves can be a little like snooze fest, you know? If there was enough people in here to talk, then it'd be different. But if it's just me talking and you and me talking, it'd get boring for people, you know? But like there's always something to learn at the same time. Some of that stuff is pretty heavy. Very cool. But all right, I'm going to bed. I'm going to go watch a show and pass out. Oh, dude, if you guys have Disney Plus, check out Moon Knight. It was actually really cool. Like I'll give Disney props. They had enough violence in there and a kind of enough killing for it to still be good, you know? but still be on like Disney Plus. I guess Disney doesn't have its wholesome name like it used to anymore, anyways, right? I mean, Disney's always been violent. Cartoons have always been violent. Like almost always till recently. Anyways, all right, I'm out of here. Stay safe, everybody. Stay sane. Change your perspective constantly. And remember, the you in 3 years is going to see you now as dumb. Bye. No, it's not animated. No, it's not. It's a regular show. It's a live action. It's got one of the Star Wars actors in it. I think the main character is the guy who played the fighter pilot, the one with the Rolly, the first Star Wars with the Rolly guy. Yeah, I'm out of here. I'll talk to you soon. I'll let you know tomorrow what comes up with the boat. I'm gonna call my brother right now and let him know. He'll be super excited. So, all right, I'll talk to you later, man. Peace. Bye, everybody else. Like and subscribe.